Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it's weird. It's a Thursday night, but I've been having some internet problems and had it rectified today, and I had to do a show. It's been wow 2 weeks. I had a root canal on my tooth, so I was taking pain meds, uh, pain meds, and so didn't have a show last week. So it's good to be back. Last week was kind of painful anyway, because of the United game. So um, I was happy because I was on hydrocodone, and so yeah. But we followed that with another loss. We lost to United, Newcastle United, and then big game at home, expecting a victory, and we put out a draw. We played well the last 35 minutes. Team went missing. So, yes, Thursday night, I posted the link onto the comments if you want to jump on. There'll be some other people jumping on later on. Got some interesting topics. I have a lot to say. I have been on for 2 weeks, and so I have a lot to say about yesterday's game, but also what's coming up. What's coming up in regards to January? Some of the cold words, some of the cold phrases. Sell to buy. You guys know that phrase? Sell to buy. Sounds familiar? Um, New contract for Eric Diabolical. Hmm? Uh, and Tammy Abraham, uh, Chelsea reject, but doing well at Roma. But would Roma want to do business with us? Jose wants to do business with us, you know. So a lot of things, but like I said, I posted the link, and we have our first guest, um, the coach with the most, the host with the most. Um, Definitely want to hear his opinions about Wednesday. I heard a few are talking them away. Usually Will has his show, but didn't have his show yesterday, so really don't know what's his opinion about because a lot of things happen. So, brother Stell, how are you doing?
What's up, Murray? Okay.
I am doing okay. It's good to be back, up and running. Freaking internet, it's been giving me a problem. So I've been using my cell phone, but it's real hard to stream a show um, through your cell phone. So and then also had the root canal last week. So yeah, I'm doing well. Doing better than our team. Um, so yeah, we have Gene also here. Oh, we got a newbie. Gene, that's the name of my brother. Is this my brother? Hello, Gene.
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. It's always good to have a new guest. It's an honor to have you on our stream. Are you a Spurs fan, fellow Spurs fan, or a fan of another club? Or
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, I'm a Spurs fan.
oh man, then you know the deal. You know the deal. Yeah, and of course we got Mr. Groves in the house. It's an honor to have you too, my brother. How you doing?
Oh, the further away from the game, the easier it gets.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And so let's start it off. Thoughts on the 1-1 draw. We're gonna get to if we were robbed. I have some comments from if I could pull it up from the officials. I don't know if you guys have seen it from Sky Sports, but they're basically saying that it was offsides. ESPN FC also saying that. I'm still confused by it, but
yeah, I think by the letter of the law, if you go by the picture they had,
mhm.
I think it is offside.
Mm,
But
yeah.
I was so convinced he wasn't. In some of our chats, I'm like, are they thinking that Emerson was offside from the original? Like, I was so confused with the whole matter. I didn't know, because I thought if the ball's played back, and if the ball's coming off for one of their players, you can't be. But like, that's not the case. It's
Well,
like, so
my confusion was the initial hit because it looked he was onside when the initial pass came in. So I thought, like, was he offsides? Like, I don't know. It's still confusing for me because I'm like,
Yeah. I
is
think
it?
it's one of those things, man, where I was like, to be honest with you, I quite honestly don't even care if it was offside or not. We should have been winning that game way before that. We had tons of chances the entire game. We spent the whole first half practically doing nothing again. Um, so I really don't care what happened. I think it was not a poor performance.
Yeah,
And I think this is a game that we should have been winning this game. And, and then the Marseille game next week, we should have rested a few players then because we have Liverpool at the weekend.
I don't even want to think about the Marseille game. I said this. Still, no, I said this months ago when the draw came out. Going to any team in France, if you think Germany is wild, Marseille, those players gonna hear racist chants. They're gonna hear everything, words about their mamas.
Yeah.
It's going to be a madhouse in
Yeah, but I
Marseille.
don't think there's any fans in the ground right now at Marseille.
Oh, they're not allowed. That's a
No,
huge.
they're not
well,
allowed.
no, it's 50%.
Is it 50?
Yeah.
Even at
Less than that.
that, it's a madhouse. It is a mad.
Murray, I wouldn't worry about any racist chants or abuse against family members because our players don't listen. Right? They're not going to hear anything. They don't listen.
Yeah, that is true.
The thing is, I honestly, and I know I'm probably going to get hate for this, like, I thought on the balance of what happened in the second half, like, we deserved to win that game. But my main gripe is, why did it take till like the 60th minute before the team woke up?
Exactly.
And that said, at that point, were they dropping deeper, allowing us to do that rather than us putting it on them? You know what I mean?
I think a draw was fair. I think a draw was fair, personally.
I think Stella's right because if you look at it, they had some incredible chances in that second half to really put that game away.
Nothing. They should have.
Mate, yeah, but Dyer should have had a damn hat trick.
But he didn't.
And I'm not even overstating that. Yeah, but they didn't put their chances away either. And Dyer, we had way more chances than them in the second half.
I just saw another stream. They said the boos were directed at the players. Stell was there in the before I say that, forgive me. I'm so excited to come back. Steak is in the house. Mr. Alexander Hilton, Steak, he's in the house. Paul Brown is also in the house. I just want to give big up to Paul Brown, big supporter. Rob Reiner, thank you for the support. Great director. We have Bobby K, who's in the house. There's the link. If you guys want to join on, have your say. We got Scott, who just came in the house. It is concerning we need a VAR. Yes, very concerning. On our way to beat the fourth best team in Portugal at home. Exactly.
Facts.
Stell was at the game. He heard the boos. I was booing, at halftime. So your thoughts?
What, in the game?
Yeah. And boos.
Well, the first half, the players didn't move the ball forward quickly enough. They took way too many touches when they got the ball. Everything was really slow. And when we did get forward, there was no movement off the ball. It was just really boring and dull and nothing happening. No one really knew.
So typical Tottenham, though. Isn't it?
It was rubbish. But to be honest with you, I missed most of the first half because the guy next to me was telling me about the history of Tottenham, and he was telling me about players I've never heard of, and
So that
it was
was more
great.
interesting.
Oh, Jace, honestly, mate, the first half was so shit, so rubbish. The guy next to me is just, if he wasn't there, I swear to you, I would have fallen asleep. I literally would have just thought, let me get a half an hour kip, wake up for the second half. And the first half, there's literally nothing to say. The second half, look, fair play to Tottenham. We went at them. We gave it a go. The tempo was higher. We moved the ball better. I don't think we created any wow chances, but we created some good half chances that we should definitely have done better with. Brian Hill, he definitely raised the levels. He was definitely a good impact player. Bentancur was really good.
Yeah,
I don't think we deserved to win it. If we'd won it, you can see why, because all the momentum was with us in the last 20 minutes. They had two really good chances that they completely mucked up. And I'll tell you one thing. The one thing that stood out for me, no one's spoken about at all.
Go on.
We're crying out for a top centre-back. Okay, we're crying out for another top centre-back. That number 3 that came on for Lisbon, I think his name was Saint Jesmus, something like that.
Yeah.
He had Son and Kane in his back pocket. He was a good player from what I saw that game. And I'll tell you what, he can't be an expensive player. And he's better than Longley and he's better than Davies. So there are players out there. That are better than what we've got. The one costs a lot of money. But that guy, I watched him.
Sorry.
He was good.
Star, what do you think about Pedro Porro, man? They're right back.
Yeah. He was good as well. I know. He's another player that I thought, look at in fact, both their wing backs, they hugged the touchline. They were out wide. Ours were always in a bit. I'm like, they played like proper wing backs. But the player that stood out for me was that number 3 when he came on. He had a good performance as a centre back, and he looks like a player that could play Premier League football. I liked him. Well, I can't remember his name.
Their wing backs do like a no-look pass and put the ball out of play, though. Have they got that in their locker?
He's such a fucking idiot, isn't he? He's such a fucking idiot, Emerson. Honestly.
Honestly, if I was Spence, I'd put in a transfer request because I don't know what he's got to do to get a game. Like, how bad must Spence be if he can't get in front of him?
To be honest, I can't understand as well that same thing. Is like, what is it that tactically Emerson is doing that Spence can't do on the football field? That's not making him into this team. I can't understand it. Like, I just can't get it. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. Can I just quickly say, there's Shane B in the comments. How did those words about Gil taste coming out of your mouth still? I'm going to be honest with you. Unless he can do it in the Premier League against good opposition, it doesn't matter, right? This is Sporting Lisbon, guys. They're who are they? We are levels above them. We made them look good again.
Apparently, we're not levels above them.
Well, yeah. Well, by going by that performance, you're right. If Brian Hill can do it away at Bournemouth, if he can do it against Liverpool, and if he can do it against Leeds, the next 3 Premier League games, if he can do it in those games, then do you know what? I might have to hold up my hands and say I made some dumbass comments about him, but he hasn't done that yet. He hasn't. So I'm gonna wait, Shane. I want to wait and see. But I'm still not convinced, man. He still didn't get an assist. He still didn't get a goal.
We as a fan
his crossing was good though. His crossing is better than any other wing back we've got in this club.
Exactly.
Better than all of them. All of them.
Exactly. I will say this, our fan base tends to get really excited, over the top, hype about players and don't let time come in. But I will say this, all the jokes aside, he's a twig, he's a pencil because he's so skinny, he's a lightweight. All jokes aside, anybody that wears a shirt, I want to see do well. Anybody who wears a shirt, I want to see them do well. This kid was heartbroken not being transferred out on loan. And rightly so, because he knows he is not going to play. It took players being injured, Kulu, Richarlison, for this guy to actually have a chance. And so I hope for the best that he seizes the moment. One of the questions I'm going to have later on is, do we go back to the 3-4-3? And if we do, who starts, Lucas or Hill? Because Lucas, I said this on the chat, on the WhatsApp chat. Did he go to the Emerson School of passing or getting the ball in? Lucas was horrible. He was horrible. I mean, he had to put Brian Hill in. Lucas was horrible yesterday. He was up there with Dyer. You were at the stadium. Other guys, am I right to say Lucas? I mean, his passing was shit. Lucas was terrible.
So was Højbjerg.
Højbjerg, he had a bad first half. He come a bit more alive in the second half.
Kane's son didn't do anything either, really.
No, like the whole team was kind of garbage. The only one that can really hold his head up was Benton.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'd much rather see Brian Hill given the opportunity in a 3-4-3 over Lucas Moura, because quite honestly, can he do any worse? And at least we can get to see the kid play and give him some minutes, and then we can like judge if he's like good or not good. You know, can he be any worse?
That was my thinking.
And the thing is about Brian Hill, like Stel was saying, like he has a good cross on him, man. You know, he
like goes out to players. He goes out to players.
I'll be on it. Sorry, go on, mate.
No. I'll just say he goes out to players. Yes, he falls down easily, but then he gets us opportunities for free kicks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He won that corner, I think, that we ended up scoring on with Bentancur. And then that free kick also that Dyer missed. I think he won that free kick also in dangerous spots.
Yeah.
Do you know how bad it is that we are depending on a player who was on the brink of being transferred out of this club, a player the manager doesn't want, who was forced to stay because the transfer collapsed. We are depending on him to come on and save the game. Like, what is actually fucking going on at this club? What is
still,
how?
That's how starved we are of any kind of creativity.
But still, it's the hand we've been dealt with, my friend. It's like, what else can we do? Kulusevski is injured. Richarlison is injured. Lucas Moura is not good. What else can we do at this point?
See, for me, I wouldn't throw him. But I wouldn't throw him on from the start. What I would do is, because he's still a young kid, like I don't want him to have a complete bummer and then get shit on by our fan base again. I would much rather play Lucas to start with and then bring the kid on with half hour to go. And if that goes well, then flip the script.
Jason, we brought in Conte to win league titles. And we're talking about, let's give this 21-year-old a chance. Let's see what happens. This is so not Conte.
It's a question.
Why is he here? Why is this manager here?
For everybody here, right? And you're so correct. If we play the 3-4-3, right? Because if we play the 3-5-2, it's Kane's song. Lucas was so bad against Sporting. So my question is for the panel, along with Scott, if Scott can jump on, right? You're not interested in seeing Brian Hill play in the Premier League. Okay, playing Saturday. But if Lucas is real bad, who do we have? Harvey White? I mean,
no one. There's no one.
We have no one. No one.
You've got Obson's choice there. It's one or the other.
Two players get injured and we're in crisis.
Yeah.
Two players and we are in crisis.
No one. And Lucas was so bad that I was happy that Hill came in because I was just like, I wanted to see Lucas off. And you may be right, Jason. Start with Lucas, take him out at halftime, and put Brian Hill. But for those who say, I don't want to see Brian Hill play at all, we don't have a choice. We need
yeah.
warm bodies. We don't have a choice.
Like,
You know,
beggars
like,
can't be choosers. You know what I mean?
you know, I mean, we like who would we put in? Like Army White? I mean, Alfie Devine, call him up. You know, I mean, it's I don't
No,
like. I don't know.
I don't think the vision of
You
Enoch
know,
and Levy matches that what which Conte is all about, man. That's why I think long term, I don't see
shit, Jay.
unless they change something drastic, I don't see this working out. To be honest with you, man, because they're all about spending a little bit of money on potential, and Conte is not about that, you know. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work out, man. To be
Gene,
honest with you.
Gene, do
Conte's
you know?
not notoriously a big spender, but what he does he likes to spend big on certain things. Like do you know what I mean? I'm not saying he shops in the bargain basement either.
yeah.
Do you know what we need? Do you know what we need, right? Do you know what we honestly need to do as a club? And if we just started doing this, you'd see a dramatic shift. I'm not saying we'd win trophies, but you'd see a dramatic shift. Under Pochettino, the season he got sacked, the summer before he got sacked, we spent £100 million. Ndombele, Lo Celso, Ryan Sessegnon. The following summer, we had Mourinho. We spent £140 million. The following summer, we spent 60 million. Nuno. This summer, we spent 150 million. Right now, each summer, if you spend between 100 to 150 million, so I'm not even pushing hard here. I'm just sticking to what we already do. And what you do is you only buy players of the levels of Kulusevski, Bentancur, and Romero. So I'm not saying go above that. I'm not saying go below it. That's the level. Now, those players cost between 38 to 52 million, right? That's your range. Let's say 40 to 50 million. Make the numbers nice and simple. Only buy 40 to 50 million pound players. Kulusevski's, Bentancur's, Romero's. But that type of player for the right back, the centre back, the attacking mid, the second striker, the left side. And if you buy 3 or 4 each summer, after 2 or 3 windows, you've suddenly got 10 players that are all Kulusevski level. Like, what fucking more do we need to do? Why are we buying Spences and Udojis and Longleys and Emersons and chickens and hamburgers and hot dogs? I mean, just go and buy good players, not good players, and let the coach do his job. A coach takes a good player and makes them very good. If you give a coach shit, the best he's going to do is turn them into piss. All right, just do that. 3 or 4 players each window, good players, just good, nothing else. Surely we can't. Surely that's not too much to ask for. Like, guys, surely that isn't a big ask as a fan of this club.
Interject. There's other people that just came in the house. Big up Bryce, my brother from another mother. We have Leah Cooper. Thank you. This is the first time on my show. She has posted some great stuff. Along with Luca, the chat is on fire about our squad, about our depth. Really, everybody's on point. Luca, David, Leah, big up Carl, big Carl in the house. Ronan, who's also in the house. Liverpool, big win for them. It's like kind of like a seesaw for them. But and then we have Scott, who brought up a point. Scott's in the house, and I wanted to throw this question off of this beggar can be chooser's point. If we play the 3-4-3, it's either Lucas, Hill, and someone suggested Spence. I mean, I don't want to see Lucas. He was hot garbage against Sporting. Scott.
No, I don't want to see Lucas either. I don't want to see Hill. I don't want to see Lucas. If we're stuck to that 3-4-3, honestly, I'd put Perisic up there. And I hate to say it because you saw I don't like Sessegnon as left wing back, but I would put Perisic up there. But this is the problem when, and I know everybody is probably tired of talking about it, but when you go back to the window and you have Richarlison, who's a backup for Sonny, who's a backup for Kane, who's a backup for Kulusevski, and you have one player who's a backup for 3 different players. It's the same thing when we heard in the past. Sonny's the backup for Kane. Well, he can't be the backup for Kane because he's starting in the lineup, right? And it goes back to the same thing. I mean, Hill is not backup. I'm sorry. He's not good enough. It's great that he wasn't bad as he has been against Sporting Lisbon, but I don't think he was really that great. I mean, if you look at his performance overall, it wasn't great. It was better than the other players who were crap, and it was better than he has been. But it's not anything that I want to say, oh, let's have him play now against a Premier League because he had an okay game against the fourth place team in Portugal. And I know I keep repeating that fourth place team in Portugal, but that has context, right? Sporting is not a great team. This is not like, I know we say Champions League. It's not, we didn't play Bayern. We didn't play Real Madrid. We played Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah,
So
I'll tell you what, though, Scott. What's Perisic done that's impressed you? Like,
This
legitimately, yeah.
This year, I think I've said too. I think Perisic is kind of getting by on that same thing, right? What's the best thing Perisic has done this year? Is not been Doherty, Emerson, and Sessegnon, right?
That is a low bar, brother.
Yes,
it's a low bar.
The best thing that he has is that he's slightly better than our other crappy players at his position. You're right. He has not impressed like I hoped he had.
Oh, I thought he was going to light it up, but
he looks 33. He looks
like
a 33-year-old player who's played a lot of games in his career.
The thing I'm surprised about Perisic is I would think he would have scored like some goals, but when he had his chances, either he has to take his shot, or his shots has been terrible. And I'm with you, Scott. I think he's been very underwhelming. I mean, the crossing of the ball. Other than that, everything else, and he's 33, and maybe that the age is showing up. I mean, do you guys agree? Has he been very underwhelming?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he hasn't been lighting the touch paper, has he? That's for damn sure. I mean, look, I'm not shitting on the whole team. Like, I do believe there's a nucleus within that team that could go up a gear or two. Like, I think we're at our lowest point here. It can't get any worse. Do you know what I mean? But, like, they don't give you much to cling on to, do they? It's like, it's hard work trying to be positive. It really is.
No, it is. And it's just, we're playing Bournemouth. I'm each game I go into, I'm not confident because if we win, we win. If we draw, we draw. If we lose, we lose. I think more this year than all the other years. And we're third, but I still I don't go into the game
not for long,
confident. And of course, I will always predict a score 2-0, 2-1, or whatsoever. But in back of my mind, it's just like I'm hoping that we win 2-0. I am hoping that we win 2-1. I am hoping because of just the deficiencies that we have. And, starting with our back line, which is just horrible. I want to say the silver lining, the only good thing, and I posed this question, and I think he is, but I put it as a question mark. Has Bentancur been our player of the month the last 2 or 3 games? And even before the beginning of the month, Bentancur has been solid. I mean, he's not Valverde who's playing lights out for Real Madrid. But for us, Bentancur is really important. The month of September, Højbjerg. The month of October, it's been Bentancur. Would you guys agree that he's been our player of the month? You could say Kane scored, has been scoring the goals, and that, comes to expected. Though I don't think Kane is playing his best, and he's still finding ways to score goals, even an offside goal. But has Bentancur, been the player of the month for October? Has we come to an end?
For me, yes. I don't know whether that's recency bias. Recency bias coming into it or not, but for me, he's stepped up his game, and in a way that it's obvious that the other people haven't. You know what I mean? Like he's stepped up his game, but honestly, though, like the way I look at it, when was the last time every time we play, and it's been like this, right? For me, not every game, but 90% of games, and it's been like this for me since that season that our form under Potts fell off. Actually, the season we got to the final, we just don't flow with the ball. Like there's too many. Do you know what I mean? There's just fucking our passing isn't crisp. It doesn't flow. It's just slow.
Yeah.
And it drives
for
me nuts.
I think Bentancur has probably been our best player. I think the one issue I have with that, and it's not against him, is that I don't think it's because he's been necessarily great. It's almost like he's been our least worst player of the month, if that makes sense. Like, and I hope this doesn't sound like an insult to him, but you don't really want Bentancur to be your best player, right? Like, just because he's a guy who's a steady player. He doesn't provide very many 9 out of 10 games, right? 9 or 10 out of 10. He's kind of a 7 guy, maybe an 8 there, right? So if he's your best player, just because of the style he plays, nothing against him, it's not. You're probably not having a great month, and I think it shows. We haven't really had a great month. We've had some poor performances. I think he has probably been the most steady though that we've had for this month. And again, Kane might, because he's scoring goals, but I think we'd probably all admit, outside of that production, I don't think his overall play has been overly impressive. He's getting good production, and that's great, and we need our striker to do that. But I don't think overall I would say Kane's play has been very impressive this month.
Yeah, and I'm just waiting. And the question is, for Kane and Son, where we have not, they could do so much better. We're not seeing, despite being third, we're not seeing the best. The fear is, will we ever see the best? Seeing the best is getting quality service. Will they get quality service? Granted, Kulu's going to have to come back, but it's going to be after the World Cup. That is the only player on this squad that can give decent quality, service to these guys. And, for me, people say, well, they didn't see Sonny, they didn't see Kane. I'm thinking they're bored as hell. Because if you're not going to get service and you're making those runs, I mean, I saw, what was this game? It was the Newcastle game, the American coverage. It was like, oh, what a great run by Sonny. But someone in the midfield didn't see him make that run to make that pass. And so those guys are probably bored out their mind, within the game, right? We're saying we're bored. They're bored out their mind. And so, and then that extra pressure when they do get the ball, okay, I got to score because this may be the only chance. Whereas if you're on Manchester City or Real Madrid or some other team, you're like, I missed this chance, I'm going to get another one. Well, this team, that one chance may be your only chance. And so it's demoralizing, and the fans were booing. And then took us the last 35 minutes. Big up, Bob, brother. Big up, great job. Doing the stream for We Are Tottenham TV. Wild game. But it's I don't know. It's this team, man. This team
Steak
drives me crazy. Steak. It drives me crazy. We were talking about Bentancur being the player of the month. Steak. Do you guys kind of agree? Has Bentancur been our player of the month for the month of October?
Yeah, he's been the most consistent.
He asked Stel, not Steak. All right, Alex. I did. You're right, Alex.
Yeah, steak.
Benton Steak.
Yes.
Yeah. So Murray, a couple of weeks ago on Henry Wright's channel, I made this comment where I said, I've watched Bentancur enough now to say he's better than what we see. Bentancur is better than the football player we see. And people said to me, what do you mean by that? I said, if you put him in Manchester City, he'd fit in. And under Pep, I think he'd become a very, very good player. I'm not saying he'd become De Bruyne or Silva, but he'll become a very good player.
Yeah.
And people said to me, you're knee-jerk, you overreact. I said, no, I've got an eye for a player. You know, I've been doing it for 11 years. This is a very, very good player. He lacks a couple of small bits, but that can be refined. But you need to surround him with really, really good players. Bentancur is a player that I would mark 8 out of 10. Now, if you surround him with 9s and 10s, he could become a 9 and 10. But you've got to surround him with those players. You can't have Emerson to the right, Davies to the left, a 33-year-old Perisic further up. You know, a Højbjerg. Okay, maybe Højbjerg, all right. Then Dyer behind him, Sanchez there. It's not something that's going to raise his game. And I said, if we had Bentancur and you had Eriksen in front of him, Moussa Dembele behind him, and Kyle Walker going up the wing, Bentancur would be exactly, Jace. You know, and all this conversation of people saying Bentancur, he's our player of the month. I was saying this 2-3 weeks ago that there's a really, really, really good player. In fact, if I look at all the signings Paratici's made, all of them, the only 3 I would keep are Kulu, Bentancur, and Romero. I would fuck off everyone else. The lot of them. All of them, go. Even the goalie who doesn't play, go. Those 3, that is the level that Tottenham need to be buying. The minimum, that is the level we need to be buying at, Mari. Bentancur's had a really good month. He's had a very good month.
I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong. The players that try to give a great forward pass, and sometimes they do, all came from Juventus. Kulu, Bentancur, and I'm going to put Romero. I don't know if you noticed, these last
I thought Romero came from Atalanta.
Atlanta, but he was with.
He was a youth player, I think.
He's a Juve.
Okay.
Juve player.
Yeah.
I noticed yesterday, trying so hard. Romero's in the box. He's making those runs, and I'm just like, as a tough of a period that he's playing, you know, and he could do so much better. But yesterday, he was getting to the box. He was trying. He was dribbling. I was like, look at him going forward. He's better than Emerson going forward, Romero. You know, and it's just if you surround these guys with some good talent, you know.
I know.
So
Murray, if we just signed a really good left wing back and a really good right wing back, I'm telling you, you would see a massive shift upwards. Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur, 2 Moradic wing backs, Kane and Son. It's a massive game changer. But what's happening is the midfield and Kane and Son having to overcompensate for nothing going on at the wings, and the defense, they're having to overcompensate for not having to cover these people when they try to defend as well. So, by the way, I've just got to do it now. But Ben Kaufman, is this a biscuit or a chocolate? All right.
It's a chocolate-covered biscuit.
Mari, you got to try these one day. When you come to England, I'm going to get you these. Anyway, sorry, I saw Ben in the comments, so I had to ask him because he's always on about it. But yeah, Mari, just buy 2 quality wing backs, and you'll see a massive shift in this team.
There's a guy I'm gonna throw out there we were linked past before. Went for 15 mil to Bayern. Plays in rotation. Would be tracks back, plays defense, can pass. Would be the perfect midfielder for our team, even in Conte's system. Begging for us in summer or January window to go back and embark up Stabitzer's tree. Stabitzer, who plays for Bayern Munich. I think he went to the wrong team, kind of like the
I
guy
think he's flopped. I think he's flopped at Bayern.
and you know what? That
That's
may
what
be
Murray's saying. That's what Murray's
that
saying.
might be, yeah, that's what I'm saying because I just don't think he's happy over there because he's not starting, he's rotating. They really want to play their youth. The guy is a good player. I think that if you put him with Conte and you put him on our team, he would do much, much better. He would get back to the Stabilizer that we know, who like he could pass, he could score from the midfield, and he tracks back, he plays defense. So
That's a great shout, Murray. Murray, that's a great shout. I never thought of that. That's a great shout.
Stabilizer, and he wouldn't be expensive, right? Penny Pitch Navy, right? So Bayern would probably want maybe 13 mil.
Do you know what? There's something in what you're saying here because Kulusevski, he wasn't really doing well at Juventus. Although, from people that I've spoke to that know Kulusevski from before, they all said that he's a really good player. He just needed a move for it to come out, and maybe the same would apply for Stabilizer. You know, maybe he could be another Kulu for us.
I was saying that because I'm a Spurs fan. I was saying that was a bad move for him to go to Bayern. I was like, because he was also linked to Arsenal, and I was praying Arsenal did not get him, and hoping that we will get him. And just some teams that some players is not a good fit. And Sabitzer, he is a much better player. It's the same thing with Vlahovic. People say, "Oh, he's still producing, but he's flopped at Juventus." Allegri destroys careers. Vlahovic, I'm telling you today, is the way he moves, the way he scores. I think he is top 10 quality strikers out there, but he's playing for the wrong team.
Vlahovic is class. Yeah, Vlahovic is a class player, man.
Should have bought him.
Same thing with Stabilizer. Stabilizer is playing for the wrong team. He needs to be a Spurs player.
So why are we spending 60 million on Richarlison's and 20 million on Spence, man? This is it drives me nuts. It just drives me freaking.
I mean, I understand why we bought Richarlison. I'm not saying he would have been my pick, but I understand why. Because there's that whole we've tried non-prem proven players and look at our track record there to get someone that's prem proven. But honestly, I wouldn't have gone for Richarlison in that regard. But I get why. You know what I mean?
So I bring up this question, right? Since we're pretty much talking about, and I want to talk about the sell to buy in January. But before I get to that, sell to buy in January.
Says who?
Says the reports.
Tell who?
It's our DNA to sell to buy, right? Isn't that the excuse?
Apparently, Harry Winks is coming back, so.
We got no one that nobody wants any of the players we want to sell. So who the hell are we selling?
Winks is back.
Ndombele is doing well at Napoli now. And I said it all along about him. I was the only one who defended him. The only one. I'm telling you.
Oh, I hope he lights the world up. But for our club, with our shirt on, he was fucking atrocious. And you ain't convincing me otherwise still. That was a piss poor showing by that man.
Let me ask you one question, Jason. Right, just one question about Ndombele. Yeah.
Yep.
When did he ever wear a Spurs shirt?
Yeah.
And play in an attacking Spurs football team?
Well, we don't have an attacking Spurs.
He had Mourinho.
We were top of the league.
Ryan Mason. He had Nuno, and then he had Conte. Not one of them is a forward-flowing football coach.
Yeah,
Poch was the only one.
I'm not even talking about him excelling. I'm talking about the effort that he didn't put in fucking 70% of the time he was on the pitch.
Who put effort in the first half against Sporting, right? Who put in effort away to Man United?
Two wrongs don't make a right. We're talking about this dude at the moment. And
I know, but what I'm saying is when the
club... He can have all the talent in the world. He put fuck all effort in.
And I hear what you're saying, but when the club sucks, when it just stinks,
Yeah.
Very rare to find any player that puts in the effort, you know?
And I hope he has a fan. I don't wish bad on the guy, don't get me wrong. I hope he absolutely lights the world on fire. But, like,
All right.
I don't know,
Fu-
man.
Sorry,
He gave up on us.
Well, yeah, he did give up on us, but I think we kind of gave up on him as well. But I don't know. Fuzzy Khan, I'm going to speak to Henry and get him to add you back. I didn't know you were blocked, but I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out. I don't know, man. I watched him for Napoli again yesterday, and he the one thing I'll give you, he has still yet to complete a full game for Napoli. So I'll give you that one, all right?
Look, dude, I hope he really lights it up, and I hope they pay us. Was it 30 million? Whatever it is, like
Anything,
honestly,
anything. Just take what you can.
Yeah,
Just take him.
like,
Pay the wages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pay the wages, get him off the book.
So the question that I come up with before we talk about January and the whole we need to sell to buy, Eric Dyer. I was at work, I was eating my lunch, having a drink, drinking some water, and I almost spit it out because I'm like, really? I mean, the guy's about to hit 10 years. We're going to have to give this guy a testimonial. Because he's been at our club for like, 10 years? Like a new contract for Eric Dyer? Am I being harsh? Am I being mean? Like,
A decade of Dyer.
no, I don't want him to get a new contract, and I'm not being mean. I'm just saying.
You know, in the summer when we gave Ben Davies a 3-year contract, and most of the fan base was celebrating like, what a brilliant, good squad player, good bit of business, and I was in tears. I was in tears because that just confirmed to me we have no ambition to try and build a great defense again. If we give Dyer a 3-year contract, I am telling all of you, we are winning fuck all. We are winning nothing at all. I don't care who the manager is. Cannot have Davies and Dyer at this club as centre-backs. It is, I think someone in the comments earlier said it's criminal to put these players next to Romero. It is. This is such an injustice, man. This is criminal to football for this to happen, Mari. We can't give him a contract. There's no way. Please, man, please.
Oh, you know it's happening.
I'm gonna lose my shit if it does, Jace. I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a half-an-hour video on it, just ripping. I'm gonna sit there, just spend half an hour just hating on him.
Oh yeah,
I can't.
It'll be done on Halloween, and with Levy with a Joker mask as his costume.
I personally don't want him to get a new contract.
Yeah, trick or treat, trick.
Look,
that's the ambition of the team. I mean, I'm telling you, at the end of May, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to back this guy. We've just got Basuma. I'm thinking, even if we don't get Bastoni, we're going to get at least some quality at center back. And I know some of the other channels, they rave about Langley's long passing and whatsoever. But to be honest, right, if that's the wing back's job, the right center back, the left center back has to be, and center back has to be defensive solid. Langley, I'm watching him get skinned over the weekend. Like, I just, and then no, he's well known as a stopgap. I'm like, how is that backing Conte? How is that? And a big up to Chris Collins. Chris Collins. I know everybody makes fun of him. I've made fun of him, because he never says anything negative about the club. To my surprise, big up to Cube. He actually went on a rant saying that we have to back Conte. So when you got Chris Collins saying that, like, okay, like we did it proper back Conte.
But
You know,
Maury, but
Like-
Maury, but Maury, go and listen to what he said in August about the transfer window. Listen to the positive vibes he was giving out in August when people like us were saying that's a 5 out of 10 window. And people like him and other channels, I'm not mentioning people's names ever again, but other channels and people were saying good window, 8 or 9 out of 10. If we just got an attacking mid, it would have been the perfect window. And we're sitting here saying, are you crazy? Are you literally deluded? Like, where is this coming from? You know, so it's great. You're right, brilliant. Well done for saying that. Couldn't agree more. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Chris.
Yeah.
But you weren't saying that in August, man. You weren't. This is where I'm confused now. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, people are allowed to change their minds still.
Is that called a flip flop, or is that called if that was me, I'm a flip flop. If I say I'm a flip flop,
Well, I know, but like
That is a flip-flop.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, if he's finally come round to seeing the light, I guess I'll take that very small victory. You know.
let me ask you a question. Right? If you look at the situation right now,
Yep.
and you look at what's going on at Tottenham, do you now, in hindsight, I know hindsight's a great thing.
What,
Do you
support
think
Arsenal? Yeah. Go on.
Oh, they lost tonight, right? Hey, they lost. So much
Good.
for Arteta's great arm, and they drew to Southampton.
They lost.
Right? Anyway,
They're down.
Say again.
They're going to get relegated now.
Fingers crossed. If do you think it was a bad idea, perhaps not forcing Hill and Mora out of the club and instead holding on to Bergwijn and Lamela, who do get goals and who do create and never quite got the minutes? Because I would like to ask the question: if Steven Bergwijn got the amount of minutes Richarlison has got this year, what would have happened there?
I agree with Bergwijn. I don't agree with Lamela.
You don't agree with Lamela?
No, Lamela, if you look at his return, he hardly scored any goals. He didn't score that many goals.
But technically, isn't he a better player for the midfield than what we've got at the moment, Jace?
Yeah, well, that's when he's fit, dude. Because let's get it straight. He's not fit more than he's fit. He's super injury.
Charlton's injured.
Yeah, he's also okay, but also Lamela's a red card waiting. Look, I like his gusto.
Yeah, he is a red card. He is a red card waiting.
So I agree with Stevie. I think if he was given a better shake of a better go at it, you'd see a better return. But I disagree with Lamela, if that helps.
What about Mari and Steak? What do you think about it?
I think we should have whenever Lucas went onto the pitch last season, I think it should have been Bergwijn instead.
So would you have kept Bergwijn then?
Yeah. I will sell Lamela though.
So you agree with Jason?
The reason why I said sell Stevie B.
I'm getting echo.
Echo for me.
Yeah.
I can't hear an echo.
Oh, I can.
Hello?
Wow. Can you hear me now?
Nope, you could.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the reason, because I thought, honestly, I thought we were going to get Jesus, and literally I thought we were going to properly back Conte. But for me, I'll be honest with you. If I could go back in time and I knew what we were going to get, Steven Bergwijn would be right now. I put him up there with Son, Kane, and Bergwijn, starting right now on this Saturday's game. You know, it's you know, and I know we can't go back to the past, but we have to look to the future. And well, first of all, big up. Nick is in the house. Barry, he's brought up some excellent points. He's also in the house. Someone else is in the house. Who am I missing? Stewart is in the house. Some
Bryce,
excellent
Rob, Luca.
Bryce, Luca. Those are good points. Someone says that Conte needed 3 windows. Yes, Luca said Conte also said he needs 3 windows. So here's the question: is Conte saying he needs 3 windows because he's basing it on Levy spending cheap habits? Of just okay, we're gonna spend this. If it was any other team or any other owner, he knows, okay, they're gonna back me this summer transfer window. I'm gonna get most of everything I want. I pose that question to you: is Conte saying that he needs another 3 windows based on Levy's habits?
For me, no. I think Conte's saying he needs 3 windows based on what a normal football club would do. Because let's get it right, and I don't care what anyone in the chat says, we do need to replace a large chunk of our team. And that's not going to happen in 1 window. Like, it's just not. Now, will Conte be disappointed? 100%. Because he's not going to get what he thinks he's going to get because we're not that normal club. We just don't do business. For a club where we don't do business the way we should do, in my opinion. Like, we're supposed to be the 10th richest club in the world or in Europe.
Supposedly, there's supposed to be a report coming out in November 21st in regards to the finances of the club. And I don't care. That could come out. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this again. Estelle, I got to send you the info. Right? Listen to his logic, right? And even Conte says this. Right? And then people say this: well, we can't compete with oil money, right? You can't compete with oil money. And so, right, people say the main source of Manchester City buying the place is oil money. Okay, so it gives me every right to bring up Tavistock, right? And the reason why I bring up Tavistock is Tavistock is a $1 billion entity, right? Global entity in the States. I'm not even talking about, because I researched how they were able to still profit during COVID in England. Here in the States, not on Florida, Tavistock Bank. I have articles. They've recently sold and made $54 million in selling land to Disney for a university. $54 million. Then they're building this super retirement center because everybody retires at Florida. We sold it to this developer for $54 million. Deals after deals after deals. Half of the city of Orlando, which is a booming city, is owned by Tavistock. That alone, I'm talking about that entity alone. We are not a poor club. So, yes, there's oil money and there's real estate money. Real estate money that is spent and business done well is huge money. And to their credit, Joe Louis and the business of Tavistock and what they do, they're geniuses. They're geniuses. You cannot, as much as Joe Louis and Daniel Levy and Enoch, like, they know how to make money. So then, when we're talking about oil money that is supplied to Manchester City, right? And some other people, some other channels, I have to bring up Tavistock, right? Supposedly, it was outside funds. This 150. Leah mentions this, right? We only have 50 million left. Was supposedly outside money to help support backing Conte this past summer, right? So they went outside. Correct me if I'm wrong. That technically they're going outside the model of we spend within the
Yo.
club because that's the philosophy of Tottenham. That's why and people have agreed. Tottenham wants to spend within the club. The club pays for itself, whereas Manchester City, some other clubs, some other teams, other sports, they rich owner, they bring out outside money. So to wrap it all up, the myth, right? Because it's gonna come out on the 21st of November or whatsoever about this report. Don't buy it. Tavistock is a hugely successful company. We are a rich club. Do not believe the lie that we are a mid-table club of a side. We are much richer than Liverpool. Right? The Henrys struggled. In other sports, they had to sell their star players because COVID really hit them hard. Stan Kroenke, his businesses, they struggled a bit. Joe Louis banked during COVID. And so that's why it's discouraging. It's discouraging that, our club, yes, you can spend money and buy back players, but there's still a correlation that if you spend, you have more hits than misses. But
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
That was a good talk, Mari. Well done.
We are not a poor club. We are not a poor club. I mean,
Then
those
why is
guys.
Levy being cheap?
with oil money, I think you could compete with them if you have the good director of football and scouts around the money. Like even if you have oil money, you could still get 100 Tango Ndombeles and do nothing. Like,
Yeah.
And Ben
But
says
then
it.
you can buy Van Dykes and do something.
Ben says
Mari.
it.
For every
Mari.
bad decision,
Ben,
there's a good
let's
decision.
just want to say this. Ben says it 100%. I think that's what I was trying to tell. I'm not gonna mention the guy's name because he's not here, but I want to have a debate with him because it was like, well, oil money. Well, if you have wars or you have a lockdown, oil money, right? Oil money can suffer if they're not having buyers to sell oil. But when it's done right with real estate, and I'm telling you guys have to visit Florida and see Medical City, Tavistock, Medical City. Like when you brick and mortar will always produce money, especially in the state of Florida. Florida right now is booming, where California, because of their political and laws, they suffered during COVID in New York. Florida, boom. And like Joe Louis must be kissing our governor, DeSantis, because they boomed. And everybody's moving to Florida because we have no state sales tax. Everybody's moving.
Mari,
Yeah.
Mari, can I share something on your screen a minute?
Yeah.
All right. So
Big subs in the house. We'll go to you next after Estelle shows.
I want you to read this out. Yeah. Now I'm in. You might have to remove the comment at the bottom so you can see it.
Okay.
Now I'm in a couple of groups, and these groups they don't know I'm in the group, and these groups are pro ENIC, pro Levy groups, and I'm in them because I just want to understand the mindset. This is one of the diehard ENIC Levy guys. Look what he put in the group last week. I couldn't believe it. Like, read this.
From the heart, been thinking to myself today, I really do believe it's now time for Joe Louis to sell the club. ENIC has taken Tottenham football as far as they can. We got one of the best training complexes in Europe, one of the best stadiums in the world. Danielle Levy has put Tottenham Hotspur back on the map. Got to give him some credit, Yids. When he first came to the club, we were a laughingstock, bottom half team. And how many years now have we been a top 6 club? Levy's done his best for our club, but mostly, definitely, Louis should sell the club now. We need new investment, big time on the pitch side of things. At the moment, we can't compete with Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, etc., because Louis will never spend $100 million on one player exactly to win. It's all about the money. Now I'm afraid to say ENIC out. That's the only way. because Enoch isn't interested in putting hundreds of millions of pounds into the pitch of side of things. All that they're interested in is lining up their own pockets. For years, I've stuck up for Daniel Levy, but now it's time to do the right thing and sell the club. Because while they're in charge, we will never win a trophy. It's really a sad fact.
Die hard Enoch Levy fan, this guy. Die hard.
Did he get
He only
flamed? for that?
realizes now.
Oh, he got
Yeah.
absolutely cooked in the group. And do you know what? I was so desperate to jump in and back him, but I couldn't blow my cover.
Yeah.
And
But
no,
I screenshotted it. I took his name out, so no one knows who it is. Like if he's watching the show, he'll know. I've kept your name anonymous, but my God, man, when he put that, I was just, hello, is it Christmas?
Seen the light.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
he's
it,
seen the
man.
light still. He's seen the light.
You've seen the light, yes. Like, praise the
Yeah,
Lord.
man. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
I mean, that's the thing, though. No one can argue that, like, Enoch have got the club in a financially stable position. That's irrefutable. What definitely is also irrefutable is they haven't done right by the footballing side of things. And it's time to either, like, it was time to put up or shut up a couple of seasons ago. And they didn't. So now it's time to, like, shut up and get, like, sell it.
Yeah, big up to N. John. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but he's saying.
Her name's George. She's from. This is Minneapolis Spurs.
Yeah,
She picked me up in Minneapolis. She took me to Spurs Minneapolis. These guys are one of the best fan clubs of Tottenham in the world. I am telling you, Minneapolis Spurs is rocking.
Next to my family,
It brings up a good
next
point.
to my family, they're number 2.
There is
Big up Minneapolis.
No, because they are making money. And let me tell you this, and now I want to get to subs. Subs is in the house. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Well, first of all, in that letter, and this is the argument I get with people, right? We're gonna spend 70 million, right? But it has to be split up between 3 or 4 players, right? And then of course we miss on the quality of the players rather than get that 1 or 2 players who are quality, who will make other people in the team better. But I don't know if you guys just noticed, but if I could pull it up quickly here, because it was fascinating. This goes back to the ESL, which I'm telling you guys now, the ESL is not going away. A couple of weeks ago, the Premier League looking to play not exhibition games, regular season games in America. But this is coming from Spain, right? Listen to this. In short, a new law has been approved by relevant bodies which overrides previous La Liga CVC deal. That deal allows the Spanish FA to kick out any team to play in competition that is not recognized, aka the European Super League. Now all that is changing. The Super League is inevitable, despite most not liking it. It will be smarter focusing on preparing for some reasonable transition relationships between the Super League and the rest of the European club. And then to back it out, Italy is trying to do the same thing. This is
why though?
This is huge news. Well, of course, because number one, Real Madrid, they know they're losing money in the sense of TV contracts because number one, La Liga, no one wants to watch Eibar versus Valencia. And so it's a 2-team league in regards to TV contracts. But if they were to get into a Super League, and when you have banks like Barclays, who is willing to dish out, it's almost like the PGA golf when LIV came in and took some golfers to a PGA. I'm telling you, this is not your grandmother's Premier League. This is not your grandmother's La Liga. Money talks. As much as we hate it, and this is the reason why, Levy and Enoch, I don't see them selling this club because, there's extra money to be made, right? No, we didn't earn our way to the Super League, right? Because we haven't won trophies, in 13 years. So,
Okay.
so there is a lot of things that are rumbling that's going on. That's in the background. I'm a nerd to look at these things, but it's coming and it's affecting our club because it's all about cash. It's all about profit. If you have that market share, right? Lee Gunner was talking about it, and I love that interview because I like to look into that whole thing of market share because those things bring money to the club.
Mm.
Sub, I know you just came in, and we'll go to Ellie. Sub, what was your thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts of what we've been talking about? We talked about Eric Dyer possibly get a new contract. We're talking about the reports we have to sell to buy in January. And then we talked about the game. Thank you, Luca. Yeah, man, these things, man, we may hate it.
Yo,
Things are happening in the
Murray,
background. Go ahead, Sub.
you still remember me? The last time I came to your show was like when Nuno, that last game with Nuno and Man United, and I was just like almost close to tears because I was just like, I don't know how we're gonna get through this. And then we got Conte like the next week, and I'm like, yes. Anyway, um, yesterday's game. Oh my word, dude. The first half was pretty, whack. Edwards scored a nice goal. I kind of wished him back. We should get him back, just on a loan or something. Um, Second half, it was actually interesting. It was like it was my first game that I was like, whoa, this game's actually interesting. Because every time I watch like Spurs, man, it's kind of boring. But like I watch it because um I love this team and yeah. Um, Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and I'm kind of impressed with Brian Hill Messi. That guy. I'm hoping he's like the next Johan Cruyff or Messi or something. He just needs to like eat up, and then he'll be good. Um, what? Oh,
Messi.
oh yeah, and sorry.
Did you say Messi?
Yeah, I
Yo,
hope
Messi.
he's like the
Yeah,
next.
Cruyff.
Yeah, Hill Messi, and I hope
Yo,
he's.
Messi.
I think
Oh,
Chelsea is
Stell, I forgot about you,
burning.
dude. Stell, I've wanted to debate with
Chelsea
you
is
so many times, dude.
it's some
Like,
cotton buds.
um, I think you're an amazing person, Stell. Like, I kind of admire you sometimes, but
Yeah.
big up to you. Oh yeah, and yeah, that last minute, it was like it reminded me of the Ajax, and it reminded me of the Man City, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
another Champions League magic, and then boom. Obviously, everybody hates us. They agenda against Tottenham. Nobody wants to see us win. So yeah, that draw is kind of painful to swallow. But now we have to go to the south of France to get back, to get our dignity back and get first place. I want to get first place so we can get like a easier team for Champions League. I don't want to be playing like not Barcelona, they're in Europe, Bayern Munich or Napoli if they come first in their group. I just want to play at least a team that's can at least see ourselves for like the next round. Yeah, but I just thought the second half was like so interesting. It was like was the highlight of the whole season actually. Like the way of like the atmosphere, the that goal that like I've never seen us being so progressive because like I don't know, the football we're playing is just so negative, but I'm not complaining because at least it's getting us points, at least we're winning, at least, So I'm not Conte out because, we just need to get quality players so the football will look nicer, but obviously Levy's a cheapskates. He ain't gonna, but I
Can I ask
saw
you
a
a
report
question?
every,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah, sure.
When you say the football is negative or not good, I don't know the exact word. I can't remember the exact word you used. Do you
Okay,
blame that on the manager? Do you blame that on the
no, okay,
manager?
okay,
Or do you blame that on the
okay, okay, okay.
players at his
Uh,
disposal? Because let me finish the question so you can properly hear what it is I want to ask you. Because a lot of fans say that this is an argument I got in a week ago. Someone said to me, another manager can get a better performance out of these players. And I said, who? And someone said to me, look at Arteta. And I said, he's been there for 3 years and he spent 400 million. And then I got told, you're making excuses. No, these are facts. Tell me who. And then he said to me, look at Jesse Marsh at Leeds. They played Arsenal off the park. They should have beat them. They've lost 3 in a row. They're 18th in a relegation. So I still have yet to find anyone that can prove to me who out there gets a better performance out of these. And I just wanted to know, do you think it's the manager or do you think it's the players? Or do you have a combination of both? Because for me, I put it on the players, but that's just my opinion. It's just my thinking on it.
Is there a manager? I feel like there is like 1 or 2 managers. Like, what about the sporting manager? I was like hearing a lot of praises from him. Like, he's one of the upcoming top managers, upcoming top managers in Europe. I bet if he comes to Tottenham, maybe he could at least do something. But I'm not saying like take Conte off and put him in. I'm just thinking like that's the closest person I can think of. And I think of that Bayern Munich manager that was in Red Bull Leipzig. He's a very crazy attacking manager. Maybe if he put us in, but then again, our players are so bad. We have Son and Kane, one of the deadliest finishers in the world, in my opinion. Like, it's like
Kane is currently the 2nd top scorer in the Premier League under Conte. Son won the Golden Boot under Conte.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's still making them perform. Okay, fair enough. But it's just those two. Like, I want more from everybody else, but like, the football we're playing. And I know.
But this is my question. You want more from the players, but is it the players or is it Conte? Like, who do you put it on?
I look at Emerson and I'm like, dude, you wouldn't even like get in any team in South Africa, like in our first division league. Like, someone's spending a living, but like I don't want to.
Oh shit!
No, like I don't want to. I hate being like a Emerson hater, dude. Like, I know the guy's trying. I know the guy is. It's not his fault that he's not good enough. Like I kind of support him. He's like earning that bag. He's playing in Premier League. He's doing his dream, I guess. And then people are just shitting on him, which sorry for swearing. Like, I see why they're frustration because like they want their team to win, so they don't want to see trashy people in the team. But like Emerson is just doing his job, man. He's just like living his dream.
Yesterday,
and I can't hate that. I saw that.
For £80,000 a week.
What are you doing?
I paid $60 for that.
Okay.
$60.
Another thing I wanted to say.
For Emerson, no look pass.
Another thing with this Innick, dude. Another thing with this Innick and Levy, dude. Innick and Levy are like the biggest scammers ever, dude. They make a world or like a top, like one of the best stadiums, one of the like this inside the stadium's nice, like the food, the service is beautiful and stuff. Like, and then you just get off football, it's like Coventry City, dude, or Exeter City, or like fucking all of those League One like team. Like, you get the feel. Like, I saw links that we're getting like Jan Oblak on Carrasco, and I'm like, oh jeepers, if only. But I just know, like, I know we're not gonna. But it's like, Levy, why are you doing all of this thing? It's like you putting out like a show, like this is like a big club, but then you're not actually putting money on the players. Like, to be honest with you, I would have like, if I was Levy, I would have just focused on building a good team and just leave the stadium. To be honest, in my opinion, at least win trophies instead of like, but I understand his view, like he wants to make money. And
you haven't answered the question though. The question: who do you blame for the way we're playing?
Sorry.
Who do you put it on?
Sorry. Who?
Yeah.
I feel like again, the sporting manager could do something. I think, but maybe the Bayern Munich, co-manager. Coach. Who's this guy?
Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
But he rejected us. He rejected us. He didn't want to come.
Obviously. Okay, obviously. What about Graham Potter? If Graham Potter didn't go to Chelsea,
He
do you think
rejected us. He rejected us last summer.
He
Yeah,
did.
he
He did actually.
Right.
And the Belgian manager?
The Belgian manager, who's that? Martinez.
Yeah. Don't you
Didn't he
think he
nearly
would
get
have
Everton
forgotten?
relegated? He got Wigan relegated.
No, I don't want Roberto Martinez. No.
Yeah, he won a trophy with Wigan, I
He
thought,
won
as
the
well.
FA Cup, though.
And
And then he got them relegated.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. In the same season.
At this point, I'll take an
Yeah.
FA Cup.
yeah, fuck it.
What? So what?
I like
A
the FA
championship
Cup.
football?
Me
It's a nice shape.
too. Me too, Ellie. I was
It-
brought
Okay,
up
so-
on us
It's
winning
like a
the
woman,
FA Cup.
isn't it?
What? At least the pasties and the pies are cheaper in the championship.
What about
Yeah.
Pochettino?
We sacked
What
him.
about Poch?
We sacked him.
No. But like, if it doesn't work out with Conte,
Yeah, he's going to
And
make
Poch still has a
Emerson
job.
look like prime
Do you think-
Kyle Walker.
do you think?
We
think-
sacked
yeah, but like-
Poch when we had Toby and Jan.
what people are forgetting about the
I've got
Poch
Emerson.
coming back. You have to understand this. Poch coming back. Poch coming back is meaning
Oh my God.
is meaning that we have not backed Conte. So
Yeah.
what makes it think that we're gonna back Poch if we didn't back Conte?
Right.
He's a winner, a serial winner.
Can I,
It's-
Oh, yeah.
can I say?
Come on,
can
we've
I
got to
say,
get our act together at Spurs, man. We've got to get
If
our
we-
act together.
if we
We're
replace
out of
Conte
sync.
with Martinez, right? No one's going to Tottenham. We're not making any money. We're going bankrupt. No one's going to pay for that.
Ellie,
Yes.
What? No one's going to pay
I've been waiting my turn. I've been waiting
£60
my
for an
turn
Emerson
patiently.
Ola.
let me get Ellie's thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I've
And
been waiting my turn patiently here.
Yeah, sorry, Els.
No, it's not your fault still. You're asking good questions. That's what I like. Yeah. I'd like you to
Bastard.
I'm
ask me
sorry.
that question as well. Who do I blame?
Who do you blame for the way we're playing, Els? The way we're playing.
Right. I blame lack of talent in our team, right? Because I don't blame Conte. He's got all the talent in the world. He's a world beater, man. He wins things everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, he's a winner, right? Our players have been losers for 8 years. 8 years, these current team,
For 14 years
Right.
now.
right? Yeah, I know we've won 14 years,
14
but they've
years,
only been they've been here for 8 years, yeah, together. A lot of those players, right? So he got rid of Paratici got rid of the worst deadwood. Now he's got to get rid of the second deadwood. All right. So you've got in that deadwood the second phase, right? He's Dyer, Davis, Doherty. He's pretty a new kid on the block, Doherty, compared to the rest of them. And then you know what? I don't like to say
But the
this.
old lot are coming back in the summer, Els.
Yeah, I know, but they're going to be shipped out again. I'm telling you, they're not going to. They're going to come for a week, train with the reserves, and then they'll be shipped back out again. Don't worry, Paratici's got their number. He'll get them out. Still, he will. Right.
I hope so. Listen, I hope so.
Right, Winks is coming back, I believe, or he's already back. I think.
God help
Yeah,
us, man.
he's going to be
God
playing.
help us.
He's going to
Right.
be
Right wing
starting.
back. Right wing back.
Yeah.
He could be
No,
our
look,
team
passes. My backwards.
boy. Right, no, but seriously, I want to talk seriously now because it's not all jokes, right. So seriously, we've got a lack of talent in our team that's not going to take us to the promised land, even with Conte at the helm, because he's a miracle worker. He's got us to number three position in the league with this shite. With this shite, imagine what he can do when he starts putting his own building blocks in. Because Conte, like I said on another channel, he's going to build the house of Conte if they allow him to be the boss. If Levy wants to be our boss and overpowers Conte, that's where we're going to go, sliding down the table, right? He has to give full power to the transfer market for Conte. So Conte has to identify his players. They've got to give him the money to get them, right? And then those players who he's identified they have to want to come to Spurs. So they have to see something at Spurs that, first of all, they'll want Conte to sign his contract, I believe. That's what if I'm a player coming to Spurs now, I'm looking at their pedigree and comparing it to Real Madrid, who might come into us.
Els, can we talk about that?
Sorry?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, of course we can.
See, right, you're saying Conte needs to sign this contract to commit himself to the club, right? And if you're Levy, you're not going to go and spend loads of money on world-class players unless the manager's committing for the long term. But the manager's not going to commit for the long term unless the chairman puts down the money for him to buy the players and he gets assurances that Kane's going to stay. So it's like there's a three-way love triangle. Conte only stays if Kane stays and Levy backs him. Kane only stays if Conte stays. And Levy only gives Conte a contract, gives him the money if Conte signs a contract. So this contract you talk about, is it possible unless all three of them at the same time have to agree everything?
It's a Levy threesome.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, I really appreciate that question, Stel. Very intelligently thought out. Right. So what I'm thinking, right, this is my take on it, right? Conte, right? Yeah. He hasn't got all the power, right? He's an elite manager. He's got to seize that power and win the war with Levy, because Levy, right, what he did, right, he went and bought Spence and he met up with the Nottingham Forest people and then he went and bought with Richarlison. So I don't even know that Conte, 100%, I don't know whether he sanctioned, he wanted Richarlison, because Levy was in the restaurant with Ken Wright, wasn't he, doing the deal, and then he went to Forest. So I'm thinking Levy still wants to be this big spider. He doesn't want to give out, he doesn't want to let Conte take the helm. But if he lets him take the helm, right, if he because Levy's a control freak, man. He wants to control he's a control freak. He's like a narcissist.
Yes.
Honestly, he's like a narcissist. He wants to control everything Spurs, right? So now he's seen Conte come in, right? He sees that as a threat, right? So he's trying to stamp his authority by buying Jed Spence. No way, 100%, that's the player that Conte wanted, because he doesn't even play him. Right, so that's sending a message to the board. Why did you go and buy Spence? I'm not going to play him. They're going to put him on loan to Crystal Palace, apparently. Right, so do you know what I mean? Right,
so, to be honest, that'll be good instead of just like
still,
leaving him on the bench.
Conte hasn't got the power, so no way he's going to sign that contract without all the power. Like to say, I'm the big bollocks here. I run this club, not Levy. But Levy won't let go because I told you, he's a narcissist, that man. He won't let go. That's the problem. And then we're going to have problems further down the line. I can see it.
A year ago, about this time a year ago, we had Nuno, the last of Nuno. And then the rumors came out about Conte and we signed him. Is Enix? We all know the answer, but if we don't back him, is it the ambition of this club? The highest of the high is just to win, just to be top four, the of a Champions League, which you don't get a trophy for. Is that the highest ambition for our club? And should we just get used to it? Take it, Ellie?
Yeah, like I hear all these stupid things saying top four is a trophy. Are you on another planet, man? Top four is a trophy. Get lost.
It's the Levy Cup.
Idiot.
Do you know with top four that's irrelevant now with the UEFA coefficient rule?
It's top five now, isn't it?
No, if you have the most coefficient outside the top four, you go to Champions League anyway.
Explain that.
Yeah. That was the new. That was the rule that they
and they're changing the Champions League format, so it's like a table.
Yeah.
Will Arsenal still have enough points to like get in if they don't get in the top four, top five? Do they?
No. If you're top four, you still get Champions League. But if you're outside but have enough coefficient, If you have the most
You'll get
coefficient
in as
outside
well.
of top 4, you get in.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm asking, will Arsenal like make it? Would they have enough to make it then if they don't make
Well, in the top
top
4 at
four?
the moment.
Yeah,
No,
because
but if they didn't make top 4,
I don't
like,
know.
what's their
We'll know
it's
who's
a
out of
wild
it.
it's
Because we
like a
have more than them. We would have more than
I'd
them,
feel
so they
better
wouldn't.
about that.
yeah, it's like a wild card position between all the leagues, right? Because they
Wild
gave
card.
extra spots. They do, yeah, because they gave extra
You know.
spots. Football, well, it's in the NFL. This if you don't win your division, well, all right, I'll split this. It's like 2 free spots because remember they gave I think they gave League an extra spot. They gave some other leagues an extra spot, and
Good.
and so now they say there's 2 spots. I think started 2023. The 2
The next
teams,
season.
yeah, all of Europe, the 2 highest qualified teams, coefficient teams, also can qualify. So that means even if you don't finish the top 4, the highest 2 teams in all of and this is why it's almost hypocritical that they make the Super League because they're finding more ways. They did that because they're like, all right, more access, more money, more games, and so that rule, I don't think it kicks in this year, but I think it kicks in next year. But
Yeah, next season.
they do count these years into that coefficient. So if you're the highest remaining team of all
They
of
count
your
the last 5 years. They count the last 5.
yeah, and he
Yeah,
says
well,
it.
Arsenal won't get in then because they haven't made Champions League for
Exactly.
6 seasons.
I think
Exactly.
they're 18th. We're like 14th in the coefficient.
Yeah.
We're 14th in the league.
In the
That's because we
coefficient
got-
in Europe.
Because we got to the Champions League final in 2019, probably.
Yeah, because it still counts that everything like 5 years prior.
Yeah.
It goes into effect.
So where are Arsenal in this league?
The 18th.
Yeah, they're behind us. It makes sense because they haven't made Champions League for 6 seasons.
And also they weren't in Europe for like a year as well. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's
Yo, Star,
game. Go ahead.
What-
Subs.
Star, when are you gonna have that battle with the terrorist group? You know,
There's no battle. There's no battle.
dude, you need to shut them up, please, bro. Like
fine,
the
fine.
hate.
Now,
The thing is, they won't get shut up because they're not going to challenge still, are they? They're scared.
Every day, Terry
They're
Flores.
running. They're running
It's-
away.
That's a
It's old news and it's done. Moving
Let
on.
me quickly shut this down.
Yeah.
A lot happened the past week. There's no battles, debates. No, I'm not mentioning other channels' names, other people. I'm just going to talk Tottenham. I'm going to talk Spurs. I talk about people that I know, like you guys, in a nice way. And any other channels, if they want to speak, they can speak, not me. So, unfortunately, I would have liked it. I would have liked it, but the debate's not going to happen, and I will leave it there.
Yeah.
All right. Big up, anyway. Big up, because it would have been a great debate. It would have been brilliant, actually. But maybe in the future, maybe one day in the future.
So I will say this on this last point to sell to buy in January, because we have the Don Paratici in the at the helm. The thing that I find so ridiculous, right? We're still in that boat of to sell to buy. We still have the ownership of Winks, Dembele. We still have the ownership of Lamela. I mean, whoever. We still own these players. Mind you, people will say, no, you can't just take a cut to get rid of these players. But some of these players are just a cancer that you have to. That's what I said. We are a rich club. We can take the hit. I'm listening to someone else say, no, we have to get the value. Like, what Levy sees is someone paying 25 mil for Harry Winks. There is no one in their right mind that's going to pay 25 mil for Harry Winks. Take your losses, sell them to Burnley for 15 mil. Sell them to maybe Aston Villa for 13. Take your losses. Get rid of these players. I'm tired that I have to hear this term. To buy, we have to sell. And it's not like common sense. Okay, you get rid of players. It's to sell. Dross that has been here forever.
I
They
know, 8 years.
need to go. Need to go. Take. I mean, get as close as you can get. Granted, I give props to Barcelona. They took a hit on a couple of players that they got rid of. You know, the only one that did take a hit, Emerson. You know, because they found some sucker to buy him.
I wonder who that sucker was.
You know, but you know they took a hit. Even Real Madrid has taken a hit on some players. Sorry, we'll take a hit. You know, and financially, you know, people don't know this. They're backed by the Bank of Spain whenever they're in trouble, and even they will take a hit. You know, so I am just tired of this whole. You know, Athletic comes out, we have to sell to buy in January. We have to sell to buy.
Well, we're not buying anyone, then, are we?
You know what? We're one stupid club. I'll put that out there.
We are.
We really are.
But we love this club.
I love them, but they're stupid. The
You
people
know.
that run us, they're stupid. They build a beautiful stadium and they don't put a beautiful team in.
Yeah, dude. Man United fans are spoiled, dude. The Glazers actually do a lot, in my opinion. They spend a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, but look at the Man
Man
United
United-
fans. They protest. They stop Liverpool, Man United from going ahead. They take to the
Yeah,
street.
that's what I'm saying. They're spoiled.
We do a protest. 50 of us turn up, right?
And we buy stuff in the shop.
The Sky Sports turn up. They look at us and they pack up the camera and go home. Like we don't. I've said it before, and I know people get upset with it, but I'm right. Our fan base has allowed this to happen. Our fans have accepted this. And until we take back control of the club by making it clear that we are not going to accept this, it'll carry on. The only time I've seen our fan base in 20 years take action was when we lost 3-0 to Man United, and the whole South Stand was chanting, "We want Levy out." And within 48 hours, he's put Conte in charge.
I know.
That shows you the fans have the power. But
They got fouled.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think when protesting, they need some steak entertainment.
Of course you'd say that.
for Sky Sports to stay a bit longer.
You know? But, guys, let me give an example, right? Walter Smith is one of the greatest managers, if not the greatest manager, Glasgow Rangers Football Club has ever had. He's a legend in Glasgow at the club. It's 1 year since he died. So for his anniversary, they unveiled the Walter Smith statue outside the Glasgow Rangers Stadium, Ibrox.
Yeah.
Bill Nicholson has been dead for 17 years. No statue, no stand named after him. The greatest ever Spurs manager. It was his anniversary last weekend. Not a mention of it. Instead, at half-time, a 15-minute promotion of the Tyson Fury fight at White Hart Lane Stadium. I'm like, that's the difference.
Thank you very much.
That's the difference.
Like
It's a fucking disgrace, man. And people want to talk to me about, oh, you're way out of order on Levy and Enoch. No, I'm not. I'm a football fan. I support Tottenham. I want to feel it's Tottenham. I don't want to feel it's a boxing arena. Glasgow Rangers put us to shame. To shame.
Well done. Well said.
It's
said.
wrong. It's wrong, Els. It's just wrong.
I know.
If you're a real Spurs fan, you're like, how? How's that possible?
Do you know what? Bill Nicholson, he won the league title for us as a player in 1951. By 1958, he was our manager. Right? 1960-61, he did the double. The first manager to do it for 64 years. And our club put a fucking advert on for stupid whatever they were doing. Boxing.
It's not even steak. It's not even steak.
Ridiculous. And now today it's Glenn Hoddle's birthday. Well, it's yesterday now because we've gone over 12 o'clock, haven't we? Right? They put a picture of Glenn Hoddle up in a suit to say happy birthday, Glenn Hoddle. Ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Do you know what's? Do you know what's?
I love Glenn Hoddle. He's a club legend. What a
But he ain't Bill
fantastic
Nick.
player. He's not Bill Nicholson. He hasn't won what Bill Nicholson's won.
With
They should, as a minimum, we should have at least the Bill Nick South Stand or the Bill Nick West Stand. Or
even with Jimmy Greaves. Even with Jimmy Greaves.
To something. Or, like, listen, we
got Eric Dyer's Ashes, though. We got Eric Dyer's.
Pay homage to our greats. Pay homage to our greats.
Iggy, myself, Nick, Ben, Sim, who else was up there? Graham, a few of us. We went up to Old Trafford last Wednesday when we lost, right? We drove up there. As soon as I got there, we parked up, went into a pub, had a few drinks, and then we walked to the stadium, right? As soon as you get to Old Trafford, there's three things that hit you. You feel you're at a special football club. You feel it. I can't explain it. You got to be there. The stadium is big, it's modern. On the inside, it's falling apart. We've got a better stadium. But when you're outside and you see in bright red letters, Manchester United, and you feel the build-up, you're like, this is a real football club. Like, wow. Yeah. Now, as you get to the stadium, outside the main stand, behind the goal, around the stadium, statues. Alex Ferguson, Matt Busby, top players, all the great players as well. You think this is serious, man. This is serious.
They're paying homage.
And then when you go into the stadium, all around the stands, it's a reminder of every single trophy they've ever won. And the stands, so Alex Ferguson stand, the Matt Busby stand, right? You go to Tottenham, you don't know it's a football stadium. You have no idea other than the words Tottenham Hotspur on some digital board. There's nothing on the stadium, right? There's no statue. There's no homage, remembrance of anything great. And when you go in, not one sign, digital animation, nothing of any of the trophies, not even something saying 60-61 double winning side, we'll never forget you, or Keith Berkhamshaw UEFA Cup final win at the Lane, or the 91 Cup final. Nothing, right?
I know.
Do you know
disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
Els, when I drove home, I was sitting there, and Graham in the back, because everyone fell asleep. Graham goes to me, "What's wrong?" I said, "Graham, it really bothered me, that trip to Manchester." He goes, "It's nothing to do with the performance. We were shit. We deserve to lose. No matter how crap they are right now, and no matter how much the stadium's falling apart inside, they're a football club. They're a football club."
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on at Tottenham. Like, guys, I think this is a difficult thing to explain. I think you need to go up there and it will hit you. Like, it hit me. I'm like, this is wrong. Something's not right.
Still, I went to Celtic with my dad, and I've got the same feeling at Celtic. They pay homage. They've got pictures of all their ex-players on the outside. So when you walk up to the stadium, you feel a power, like it draws you in. When you go to Spurs, it's the same.
That.
Yeah.
Arsenal
have got Thierry Henry in the statue.
In the Emirates, they've got all the trophies and all the years they've won stuff.
But on the outside, there's pictures of the players. There's like
statues.
Yeah, but we don't want to give Arsenal any credit. Fucking fuck them, bastards.
Well, I'm not giving them credit. I'm just saying that, like, if they the fuck is wrong with our club?
I know.
I tell you what it is, Jace. I tell you what it is. The more and more you go to these other stadiums and you come to ours, we have become a
commercial
sports entertainment events management company.
Yeah.
And at the center of it is a football team where fans will fund this project.
Yeah.
I swear down.
Like
I swear down that's where it's going. I hope I'm badly wrong, but I don't know, man.
You're not wrong, Still. You're right. You're right. 100% right. And do you know what? Can I add something to that, Still?
Yeah,
right?
Go for it.
Right. I think you was at the Steve Perriman talk in Ware. Is that right?
No, Iggy went to it.
Iggy went to it. Sorry, got the wrong Tottenham away man. Right. Anyway, I'll get to the point. Steve Perriman, right? He said at that talk, he goes to White Hart Lane right? And he feels like a leper. He actually feels like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Like, and Levy makes him feel like that. He makes him feel so unwelcome, but he goes, his wife is the most beautiful person on earth. She's got time for everybody. She
Do you know
comes
who
and
else said that, Els?
says, yeah.
Do you know who else said that? Off
Maybe
air.
maybe Graham Roberts or Paul
No,
Miller.
Off air, someone said, Mickey Hazard said the same thing to me.
Right. And I believe that because he
What
came
did he
to our
say?
table he came to our table at Le Royal and he said, I'm not allowed to say certain things because they've got to keep their mouth stum.
Don't get me wrong. White Hart Lane is a phenomenal stadium. And when it's a good game and Spurs are on fire, it's buzzing. It's absolutely amazing. But that is it. It ends there.
I know.
That is it.
You don't feel this. Do you know what I heard as well, Still? I heard that they don't want Poch himself, actually, who everybody praises. He got rid of all the memorabilia in the office so that the players don't feel like they're inferior to the past teams. This is what I heard at the
Well,
club.
So you should be
And I
looking
think
up
it's
to.
true. You should be looking up to these players and aspiring to be like them, not taking away everything, for fuck's sake. And I trust this person who told me because they're an insider at the club. I believe everything that person says.
When you go down the academy, right? They've got the academy, and then next to the academy, you've got the first team training building, and there's this corridor, this link, and as you go down the corridor, you get to these double doors, and you're only allowed through the double doors once you become a squad player for the main team. So the academy kids never get to go through those doors until they get that contract. Then they get to walk through those doors. So it's like they try and build it up and try and
Coming of age thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but down the corridor, they've got words: pride, effort, glory, win. All these positive words down the corridor. So as you walk closer, you get like more powerful words. It's all psychological. Not one image or picture of past glory.
That's
not one.
You see,
What's on
they
the
want
other
to
side of those
eliminate it.
doors? Mediocre, failure, underfunded.
Bottle job.
Underfunded.
Isn't it?
Emerson, welcome to Spurs.
Steak.
You're
Steak.
stealing a living.
Steak.
I tell you
Welcome
what
to
they
the
should
steak
put down there
ground.
still. You're stealing a living.
Telling you honestly, when I get what they're doing, I get what they're trying to do at Tottenham psychologically, but they are removing. They're trying to remove the past. They are. You can they're doing it at the first team training centre.
They should be
and the
proud of
stadium.
our past. What Bill Nicholson achieved.
They're trying to get rid of it, Els. They're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, they want to get rid of the standards of the club.
Yeah,
And
so that they can
want
keep
the older fans
mediocre.
gone as well. They don't want the older fans there either. I'm telling you.
They sent me a questionnaire today, by the way, because they know I'm in that 60 age group now, because I'm going to be 60 on the 28th of November. They sent me a questionnaire, to ask me my opinion about everything about the ground. Nothing about the team, all about the stadium, my experience at the stadium. And there was about 60 questions.
I'm still seeing
I'm not
Emerson on
lying.
the pitch. I'm still seeing Emerson on the pitch.
Yeah, I say get all the shit off the pitch.
You know what's gonna happen, Ellie? You know what's gonna happen? Dyer said this. There's gonna be a monument to Eric Dyer, right?
Oh my God!
He's got ashes underneath the stadium. Like,
you know, that's gonna be a testimonial. You know, it's got all his friends and stuff like that, and so it's going to. Oh,
you know what? However stupid our club is, they'll probably put a monument to Eric Dyer outside the stadium. They're fucking sicko.
I had to take
Sorry.
But I've had a chance to visit the museum at Old Trafford and the actual National Museum in Manchester. And first of all, it's a wonderful experience walking through the National Museum and actually seeing even some of the stuff of Spurs glory days.
Yeah.
But right in front of the stadium, the Holy Trinity of Manchester United, you can see that
Maury,
they celebrate their club. And I haven't been to the new stadium, and so it's really discouraging that they don't have a statue of Jimmy Greaves or a tribute to Ardals and the Argentinian history of the
We'll
club.
probably get.
Maury,
It,
when I
yeah,
went to when I visited Barcelona and visited the Camp Nou, like I did the stadium tour,
Yeah,
and
I've been there as well. Yeah, I've
you
been
have
there.
to, yeah, you have to see
Mm.
the way.
Oh my God.
No, as a youngster, when you go there, you see all the fans, you see all the big players, all the trophies. You feel special,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
unbelievable,
Dietrich,
and you,
their
you see,
fans go to their training sessions,
yeah,
which Spurs have stopped now. They used to let us go to the training sessions. You don't get nowhere near it unless
yeah,
you've got that
and
pass.
even
How'd
I
you
the
get a
wonder
even
why.
pass?
some
You
even
How'd
get
you
the
get
some
a pass?
pass by being
players,
an ambassador, or if
I'm
you're a
I'm an ambassador for steak.
well, can I say this?
couscous.
Can I
yeah.
say this? And maybe because Ellie and you and Stell being over there, maybe
I'm an
maybe
ex-Spurs player, remember?
I will say this. It almost seems that we are a cold club in the sense of we're corporate. We have a PR team. PR's team is to connect with the club, but it's a PR team that's
Yeah,
connected with the club. And the fear is that if they get the fans closer to the clubs, that fear is they don't want like corporations they want to have a distance from the customer because they don't want to hear complaints from the customer. And
yeah,
I feel maybe that they see, oh wow, the fans are too close to United. That's why they had to cancel a game when they had that protest. If they get the people so close to the club that Levy, his narcissism's like, no, I don't want these people to be close to me because I don't want to hear that criticism, because
yeah,
yes, we haven't won a trophy, but we have won trophies. We were once the FA Cup leaders of trophies.
yeah.
We were
Up
once
to 1991, we'd won 8.
we
Then
had it.
nothing since.
But I have a
We
question: is
so
it
it
really?
all seems like it's a cold corporation. And the thing, what makes it worse is that you have the fan base that backs it up. Maybe, the ones who have lived through the 90s who fear, the Alice Sugar years, but the ones before that are dying to get closer to the club. They're dying to, they want that history back. It seems, because I was on the phone call, but I was still listening, guys. It seems like a cold wall has been put up between the club and the real fans.
Well, yesterday at the stadium, right, Mari, this is the God's honest truth. I was at the halfway line bar, right, and there was about 20 boys singing the praises of young boys, about 19, 20, 21 maximum, right? They were singing the praises of Eric Dyer. They were singing his song, and I heard them talking afterwards because I thought maybe they're just singing the song because they like the Eric Dyer song. I love Eric Dyer loves me, right? And I was listening to them, and they were praising Eric Dyer, how good he is. Fucking couldn't believe my ears. My ears
I'll
nearly
just say
fell off
it.
my head.
I'll say it right here.
Jesus
We
I
Christ!
have
felt like going over
we
to them and telling them a few
Where's
home
my
truths.
chant? Where's my
I'll,
chant in the stadium then?
no, I'll say it.
Do you know
We
what?
have
This is
the
a thick.
worst.
We got such thick fans sometimes. They're praising
Some,
Eric Dyer. I couldn't
sometimes, no,
believe what I was hearing.
Ali, I disagree. We have the worst fan base all the time. We're
I know, but the
leaders.
youngsters, dear
No,
tricks,
man, it's
they're
not the
getting
young.
sucked in
It's
by the
not
Oh
the young.
yeah.
dross. By the
No,
dross.
no, I disagree. If you look like most of people on the YouTube and like social media, most of them they're like 50, 40 years old, praising Enoch, praising everything he does.
I know. I'm not saying about that. I'm just saying these particular young fans. They were
Dietrich,
singing Eric Dyer's praises.
Dietrich, right?
Yeah.
So, one of the things I do personally, and coaching kind of got me interested in this, is human behavior. and human psychology. I think if you can master human behavior and you can apply that in communication, you can achieve a lot, right? Not to say that I've applied it, but I know it. And two things are going on within the Spurs fan base, right? So Ellie's right. You got the older lot that are saying it, and then you got the younger lot sucked in. With the older lot, they're getting drawn in by money, sponsors. They're getting drawn in by egos. Who can get the best guest? Who can get Michael Bridges on their show? Who can get the best recognition? Who can be like the one with the biggest chest out? So they're not really necessarily driven by let's have a really honest, truthful chat about what's happening. The younger lot, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble because the younger generation, did you know there's a 50% drop off in America of kids actually seeing their friends on a regular basis? They don't. There's no community interaction face to face. The only time they see friends is at school.
Yeah.
And they're missing out on meeting new people because they're living virtually. And what you're seeing is a lot more young men becoming like fucking nutters. And you're seeing a lot of women, sadly, giving up actually family life because they've been told career. Then they get to a certain point like, I don't have a family. Yeah, because you've just gone career. Right? I'm not saying there's no right or wrong. I'm just telling you what's going on. So the younger crowd, they will do whatever gets them their fix to replace not having interaction. When I grew up, it was you sit down with your mates and you talk. You meet up for a drink, you talk. Everything was like in a circle, talking, laughing, bantering, arguing. The youngsters don't have it like that. So what they do is they need likes, subscribes, retweets, reshares. That's their hit now. And because of that, they will say whatever gets attention rather than saying what needs to be said.
Yeah.
So the youth are messed, and the older lot, not all, but a lot of them now, it's about clout and recognition. So this is what's happening. This is society at work here.
But still,
and Spurs are capitalizing on that massively.
Yeah, but still, if let's say the traction was in account, leave it out, and everyone was copying, if you had the big accounts on YouTube calling out Enoch and leave,
they won't do it. They won't do it.
But I'm just saying, if they did it, you will see all the young generation following them, taking example, trying to do clicks and likes and retweets.
The problem is the big accounts, they get given the Sky Sports interviews when there's a breaking news story or something happening at Tottenham. And what happens is this: Sky Sports will say, right, these fan channels are kicking ass and they're getting traction and attention from us. So rather than trying to go against them, let's bring them in.
Yeah.
They're not going to say no because then they clip it, put it on their channels, loads and loads of views and hits. YouTube pays them. And with the journalists, what's happening with them is they will do what the club says, and the club will say, if you just say what we need you to say, we will make sure that when Harry Kane does an interview, we'll give you that one. We'll give you the Sun interview. We'll give you the manager. So it's almost you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And if you're a journalist and you've got the Harry Kane interview, wow, this guy's an ITK. He's an ITK now.
That's Henry White's channel.
Lee Gunner exposed it all.
Lee Gunner explained it all. I already knew that, but he explained it. Subscribe to Henry Wright. This show Sunday. Lee Gunner was preaching the gospel truth about these journalists and these the super fan channels, how they work, and that's why. But I will add on to this. Though it works with all those clubs, United, Chelsea, and Arsenal, those fans, their fan base will protest. They will protest in droves.
Yeah, they will.
City doesn't have that long history. They're weak. I am so shocked how weak how weak our fan base was with the East of the Super League. Only 50 people that showed up and protest. We won't protest. We will not protest. We will not protest as a club. And so,
Mari, I think someone wants to come on your show in the comments. Azad.
okay, yeah, we
Right.
will. We will not. We will not protest. You know.
And do you know why?
Yeah.
And do you know why, Murray? We won't protest because Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Man United fans, they demand trophies. They demand success.
Yeah.
They demand silverware. They demand a packed trophy cabinet. Our
Just to give
fans have tricked themselves and they've been brainwashed into believing
Maury,
as long as we get Champions League, we're on the up. And as long as we
Yeah.
get top four, we're doing what Ellie said it
Yeah.
about half an hour ago. What the
Yeah.
fuck is top four? What
Maury.
the hell is top four?
Maury,
It's shit.
Nothing.
What
Yeah.
is that?
Maury,
It's just money for our club to go and waste or put it in their own back pockets.
Ellie, we got called Spursy more when we were top four than when we were mid-table.
I know.
We
But
got
just-
called Spursy when we were
but
top
just-
You're
four.
right.
still, just to add on your point, imagine some fans would say, "I'd rather make top four or finish second than win a FA Cup."
That is
These-
music
know.
to Levy's ears.
It
Music to his ears.
is.
But
It
we
is.
but 50% of the fan base thinks that, and that's an issue. And where does that come from? From
Levy.
big channels and Levy and all his puppets.
And journalists and the media and listen, if I speak, man, I'm gonna get cancelled. I'm telling you, they're gonna cancel me.
I speak, I'm in big trouble. In big trouble.
Jose, if I speak, I choose not to speak.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Jose's
They
smart.
can't cancel
Jose's
you.
smart.
Don't worry.
Jose's smart. If I
Yeah.
speak, he's right.
There's free speech in England. There is.
There is,
Is
but
there?
you know what else? I'll tell you something. Like what I've been thinking for a while now. Unless there is a catastrophic event at Tottenham, like we genuinely get relegated or we seriously face bankruptcy, there's not going to be any change to the way this club runs. Unless there's a big surprise coming and somehow Conte and Paratici, they force this guy to change. But that's hope more than anything. It's like we hope that he does something, but I don't know if he will. I don't think he will.
No, I believe he.
A leopard doesn't change his spots then.
No, I believe he changed some of his ways, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Like,
He went not halfway, but not the
Yeah.
whole hog.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the problem with Tottenham is we're a club. Unless we go the whole hog, we're not doing
Yeah.
anything.
I know.
We're not a Liverpool. We're not a Man United. We have to go all out. We have to go everything.
You think still, right? Conte's got us to third in the league and top of our league in the Champions League, but it could all come crashing down. It can all come crashing down because we haven't got the players to sustain it.
Ellie, if Kane gets injured, we're finished.
I know. That's what I'm
We
saying.
are absolutely finished.
Because Sonny's off the boil. He doesn't. He's not the same Sonny this
Kane gets
season. I can
injured.
see it.
Game over. Game over.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
we've got Lucas Moura.
But when do you know what? Do you know what? We've got no one
Steak.
else in the team. We've got no one
Steak.
else in the team who can
Couscous.
score as many as Kane. The nearest one is Sonny, right? And also the creativity of Kane. And when Kulu comes back, we're going to have more creativity because he's the only one who's real. He's a real baller.
El,
I
No,
like-
we have Emerson. We have Emerson. Don't worry.
Yeah,
We're in
no,
the
no,
same
look past.
position.
No, look
We're in the
past.
same position we've been for the past 15 years. Maybe
Yeah.
the last since Redknapp, okay? We've got a really let's say we've got a good first 11, but outside of that, we're just
Do you
we
think
collapse.
we've got a good first 11 though? Hand on heart. I think we've got a good five.
We're
I think
scraping
we've
it.
got a good five still. The rest, the six that
I
need
think
to
all
go.
the midfielders are capable. I think the front three are capable. I think Romero is capable. I know Lloris has had a dodgy one, but I think he is capable.
Yeah, but
Okay,
then
we
you
got-
Dyer,
we've got a good-
Davies.
I say
I don't think
Lloris,
he's
yeah,
We've got a
capable
good
of
starting
that
line.
in the
Kane
world.
and
Good starting eight or
Sonny,
nine.
Kulu,
to dare
Bentancur.
is to park
Yeah, Bissouma, Skip.
Yeah,
Have you
but
said
they're not world beaters.
No, but they're good
Bissouma-
enough for Conte. He can get us top four.
Yeah,
You know, you're right.
but then-
Els, you're right. Actually, Els, you're right. You're right.
I would say six.
I don't-
6 in the
I don't-
team are really
Yeah,
will
yes.
pull us through.
You're
The
right. You're
rest,
right.
And think about
yes?
yeah.
To dare is to Park, who is a new guest. Welcome. Have your say.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just saying that I don't think Lloris is the answer going forward, man. I just think that Conte looks to play out from the back, and I don't think Lloris is that keeper. And I think
He
he's
can't pass,
a
that's
major
why.
problem for the team.
that's how we're getting all black.
I think
Who
Lloris, right?
who
He
is
gets a
Lloris
bad
passing
rap.
the ball to? Who's Lloris passing the ball to?
He passed it to Sessegnon, who didn't. It
That's
was
a
a bit
problem.
high for. It was
That's a
It was
problem.
because he's short. It was a bit high for him, and he stretched,
Stop.
Exactly.
and then he
Stop.
cocked it up. He actually cocked it up.
Yeah, but even if
But
you
the
change
pass was
Lloris,
bad.
but even if you change Lloris, whoever the goalie comes in, the person receiving is either Cess, Doherty, Emerson, Dyer, and Davies. That is a
Yeah, but
problem.
the pass is better.
Only Romero's comfortable on the ball at
Yeah.
the back. Only
Okay.
Romero is comfortable on the ball at the back.
Do you know Almiron's goal? Right. So Lloris kicked it out. Yes, Sessegnon's short. He couldn't quite stretch. Then he tried to recover and he cocked it up. Then Longley did the right thing. He showed Almiron onto the outsides down the line. So that's the right thing to do as a defender, right? But Almiron's really tricky. He conned him, right? And then Lloris wasn't awake and he just shot the ball in the goal because Lloris was half asleep.
Lloris is a big problem for this team. He's a big problem. He has to go, man. He has to go. He's one of the
There's
major
bigger
problems.
At least
We have
no.
a major problem as the captain of the team. I think Hoiberg should definitely be taking up that captaincy.
Guys.
Yeah.
Look,
Ali,
Come on,
can
I
I
bought
Lloris
my
is like-
first Hoybier shirt this week as well, man. Come on.
can I just answer Ali's question? When
Yeah,
you
go
said Longley, that well, I disagree because usually you never put your as a defender. They taught me you never put your back
You
on
have to
goal.
show them down the line, though, Dick.
You have to show them down
That's
the
what
line.
he
That's
did.
why. No,
But
he
he
didn't.
was.
He
He
didn't.
did show
I'm
him
sorry.
down the line. He
No,
showed
he
him down
didn't.
the line, but he cut through. He cut
No.
through and he tricked Longley, and then
If
he shot
Longley-
it into the corner.
If Longley was
That's what you
smart,
got to do as a coach, right? You show them down the line, right? Which he did.
No, but what they told me as a defender, do you never put your back on goal. Like this, you put your chest towards the goal. Like this, he's gonna cut.
Yeah, the
behind you.
position of his body, I agree with. Yeah,
It wasn't
but he
good
did
enough.
show him down the line. He did show him down. But Almiron is a tricky customer, man. He's nippy and he's very clever player. He doesn't get enough dues.
He
That
hasn't
player,
done anything.
but he scores. He's scoring goals this season, so he's showing his worth.
So
In previous
with the
season, he
passing-
wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with Fuzi. He should have saved that.
He should have saved Marcus Edwards' one or Almiron's one.
With
Both.
Marcus Edwards one, there's
He's-
there's like 6 Tottenham players in front of him, and he's like 50 yards out away from goal.
He wasn't
No,
50 yards. He was about 22 yards out.
No,
Maybe
but you
not.
can
Maybe,
see-
Edwards' goal.
yeah, he's about
Marcus
22 yards out.
Yeah, but I could see the halfway line on the screen when he's shooting.
No,
No, it wasn't.
I
it
saw the
wasn't a-
goal. He was about 22 yards out, and it was a very good shot. Maybe Lloris should have saved it, but he
I
did
saved
save.
that.
He saved 3 really good ones. He saved us from going behind. You've got to look at the whole picture, right? You can't just judge Lloris on his kicking. He's a very good shot stopper, and he saved us many occasions and won us lots of points this season, especially
didn't
against
easily top
Fulham.
five
He was
best in the
fantastic
world.
against Fulham. He was
He's what?
fantastic
Top
again.
5 keeper in the world?
No.
I would say he's in the
Who
top
just
10.
said that? Did I
I'd
just
say
hear that?
That's,
I'd
you guys
say he's in the
forget that
top
he
10.
played a big role
for
in
shot
winning the World
stopping.
Cup of France. Also.
Yeah, he also made a
And
big
That's
mistake
4
in the
years
final
ago.
But he
also.
still won
That's
the
4
World Cup.
years.
It doesn't matter. Listen, there's lots of players. There's lots of players who make mistakes in games, right?
No,
Just
it's
because he's a
unacceptable.
goalie, you can't say that he didn't win the World Cup for France because he done some brilliant
Mustafi's
saves
got a
in
World
that World
Cup.
Cup.
Did you see what he did in the final versus Croatia?
Yeah.
Did you
He
guys
nearly
feel-
cost him the game.
He nearly
Yeah,
cost
but
him
they
the game.
still won the game.
Because he has a
Guys,
good
they still won the World Cup.
He's
He
not
won the
good
World
enough.
Cup.
He's not good enough.
He
The
is
guy
good enough,
is-
man. He's good
He
enough.
is
What
shit.
about
He's
He's
good
not
enough for a
shit.
backup. That's
He's
it.
not shit. He's a brilliant keeper.
He's
just
good enough
bad
for a
at
backup, I would say.
kicking.
That's about it. I don't think he's better for anything else.
No. He's got one of the best records in the Premiership with the shit defenders in front of him.
Guys,
They're rubbish.
At Old Trafford,
last
if
Wednesday.
it wasn't for Lloris, we were losing 6-7.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Thank you.
Tell him
Thank
still,
you.
man.
Anyway,
He's
Without
always
and
been a
against
bit
Fulham
dodgy.
as well, man.
He's always
made
been
some
a bit
brilliant
dodgy.
saves.
Listen, he's always been a bit dodgy, running off his line
Yeah,
and playing out from the back.
I
He's
agree with
always
that.
order flag.
He's always had that. But as a goalie in general, he is a good goalkeeper. I
Yeah.
personally think we should look now to change him only
Yeah.
because age.
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
we're going to build. Let's
Yeah.
build.
Who would you get still?
Listen, personally, I love the goalkeeper at what's it called? Forest.
Oh, Henderson. My niece said Onana. She's been watching Onana and she likes
Against
it.
Ajax, and it was just.
He's not
What
good.
about that Melier
I
kid
don't-
from Leeds?
I don't
No,
know
I'll
about
get-
Onana because
I'll
I've
get
never seen him.
Costa. I'll
But
get
a lot of people are
Costa.
saying Mannion? Is it
Melier.
Mannion-
Not
I like-
Melier,
I like
not
the goalie
Melier
at
Leeds.
Forest, Henderson.
Mangan.
I like Wolves' goalie, Sarr.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
fantastic.
he's a good one.
Do you guys want to
He's
know
really good with his feet.
good goalie that is cheap? The one that plays for Porto. You have to watch him. This guy is good.
Why are
on
we
his-
going cheap?
No, it's
why are we
not
going
about
cheap?
cheap. No,
You
it's
said
not
Porto
cheap.
goalie.
No,
Okay.
I mean like cheap in
What's his
terms of-
name?
If
What's
it's
his-
cost,
what-
it's
What's
I
his
think it's
name?
Costa.
Costa. It's Costa.
Yeah,
Costa.
yeah,
For
I like him
Porto.
as well.
He's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
shot stopper, good at
Yeah,
penalty,
because
and
Lloris
amazing
has slowed
distribution.
down. I've noticed Lloris has slowed down a bit, you know, in his reactions, and he's not as sharp as he was before. But he's still a very good goalkeeper. You must admit, on saves, he's fantastic, and
It's
he's
not
kept
on
us in games.
But that's the job of a keeper.
His overall
That is
play
his job.
is suspect.
He's just doing his
But that's his
basics.
job. He's doing the basics. It's
Not
true.
really.
But
You
with
get in goal and see if it's basics to say
I'm not-
a top. You go in the
Ali,
goal. It's massive. The goal.
Ali, if you pay me 150k a
He's
week,
on fire.
I
man.
swear,
He's only
I
6'1",
swear I was-
man, and he
If he's-
does saves like a 6'6" goalie. I'm telling you,
give me-
go
if
in
you give
goal
me-
and you'll realise.
If you give me 150k a week, I swear I'll stop you every ball with my balls. Everything.
Oh yeah.
You're funny, Beatrice, man. But the goal is massive. The goal is
I
massive,
got a
right?
question for you.
And those goalies make it look small. The best goalie I've ever seen in England is Peter Schmeichel. He was fantastic. That
Yeah,
goalie,
Peter Schmeichel was special.
brilliant,
Man. He was special.
brilliant.
I have a question for you. I posted this to Scott earlier and Stell. If we go to a 3-4-3 Saturday, and Lucas was shit on Wednesday, do you start Brian Hill instead of Lucas, or you
No.
go to if we
Kill
play,
Messi.
Gil Messi, Gil Messi, Gil Messi.
Yes,
I'll probably go
Just like
Hoiberg,
singing it. I don't
Basuma,
care if he's not
Bentancur,
like Messi.
and just give Bentancur all the freedom of the pitch to just roam
But
around.
do you guys want to know why Brian Hill played well on the Wednesday?
Because it's given space.
Because he's
Because he was
skillful.
given space and
Yeah,
they
and
were
he's skillful.
physical. And the Prem versus Bournemouth, he's gonna struggle if he starts. So I'm not gonna start the game.
Why are you saying that?
Nah,
When he's
dude.
he's got all the
Dietrich
he's got all the skill,
Carvalho was
man.
fucking
He's
fantastic.
less footed as Lamella. He's
I like
like
skillful
Lamella.
players.
No, it's good having skillful, but
Stell,
unfortunately,
what do you think of Brian Hill? What do you think of Brian Hill?
My honest,
Because I like your opinion because you're a proper coach, man.
my
Good
super
coach.
honest opinion is
Yeah,
it's a few things. Number one, no one knows because he hasn't been given a proper chance yet, right? That's the first
yeah.
one. Number two,
true.
if you look at his performances before he came to Spurs for country under 23s,
yeah.
club, it's not a good look. In terms of output, it's not a good look. If you
Yeah.
look at him technically, he's clearly a typical Spanish developed player. Technically, he's really good.
Yeah,
But what's the good of having technique if there's no outcome? If you don't create, if you don't score, if you don't, get assists, if you don't really grab the ball, the game by the scruff of the neck and take control, what's the point? So I personally think he's not going to get the time or the chance to show what he is capable of, if he's capable of anything. But the one thing that worries me most about him is that he needs to bulk up. But the problem is he's only going to bulk up if he knows he's going to play in the Premier League. Now, if you're going to bring him in, he doesn't play, then he goes out on loan to another league. Why is he going to bulk up? And he comes back, then he goes back to Spain. He doesn't need to bulk up in Spain. So he's only going to bulk up if he's told, look, you're going to stay here for 2-3 years. Otherwise, what's the point? So I don't know with Brian Hill. I don't know.
I think no matter which league he goes to, he needs to bulk up.
I personally, I would look to get a better player than him for one reason and one reason only. Conte's here for now, which means he needs players ready now. That's why players like Pape Sarr, Spence, Hill, these players, I don't think they stand a chance under Conte because he's not a project guy. When's he ever done it? He's always been like, now we need to get him Milenkovic Savic, we need to get him Bastoni, we need to get players ready to go. Not Longley.
I like to hear that.
Longley, really?
Udogie and Spence on the wing, though. Udogie and Spence on the wing. 2 years later, oh my word.
They've proven nothing.
So you don't like Longley?
It just been playing well in Italy.
I'm not against Longley. I just don't think that's the answer. Like if we want to win the league, we want to win an FA Cup. We need Toby and Jan levels, man. We've got one, Romero. We need another one.
Yeah.
We need two. We need two.
No one. If one gets injured, you can't be looking at Dyer and Sanchez to fucking come in.
No.
Dyer with a prem.
Still, they're going to give Dyer a new contract, man. What do you think about that?
You know what I mean? What is the club doing, man?
I swear to God, if we give Dyer a contract,
they're going to give it to him.
I swear I'm never
they're going to give it to him. They are. They love him at the club. They love him.
I think
they think he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Man. Like
what? Sorry.
I think we shouldn't kick out. We shouldn't kick out Dyer. He's good for a bench. Backup.
He's not even good for a bench.
He's good for QPR.
No.
Sell him to QPR. My husband said.
Honestly speaking, Dyer is
the top of the league as well. He'd go straight into the top of the league with QPR.
If you tell me Davis on the bench, I would agree he's good for the bench. But Dyer has no qualities in defense. He has nothing.
No.
If you want quality in the backup,
except for his hitting.
I don't want any of them on the bench either. I want them to go.
Look at City.
What about his hitting?
His heading is not good enough. He can't even
Dyer's heading. Did you see him miss that? Did you see him miss the goal?
But like any day those could have gone in.
Easy to put in.
Any day he could have gotten 2 goals.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Those were all.
He missed them. He missed them because he's a klutz.
Exactly.
He's got a big head and he can't even head the ball in the goal. But he could block it against Man United when he got hit in the face.
And just to give you an example, bro. Do you remember I think it was Arsenal last game or Man U, one of those two. He received the ball and he couldn't even control the ball. It went through his legs. He's not good enough.
Dude,
he can't control the ball. Rubbish.
Question for you
He's
guys,
so
right?
slow at passing the ball as well.
I have a question for you guys, right?
Yeah, what happened when you take a touch and just pass it immediately, where you know where all the players are?
Because he has no quality. That's why he has to take 5 touches to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Do you guys honestly think we can win a trophy this year?
Hell no.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's getting less likely each day. Just say that.
If Son doesn't go back to his form, he doesn't wake up, we're not even making top 4. I can bet you on that. We're not.
So if we don't make top 4, we don't win a trophy. Do you think Kane and Conte will stay, or Kane?
Kane Son can leave. I don't care. We can replace him.
Yeah,
you can replace him. Or you're high. You're actually high as
Did you
Alex
say
now.
he replace Kane?
No,
Who
no,
said
no.
that?
I mean Son.
Son, you
Did you
can
just say he can
replace him.
replace Son?
No, you
This guy's
cannot replace
smoking.
him. No, it's not replace him, but like if
Son's
you can
one of
sell
the
him on a good
best
fee,
in the world.
This club is
I
so
feel
confusing, man.
Yes,
I
This
feel
yes.
club
like
is so confusing, man. I'm telling
Kane
you.
I
is
feel like
Kane and Son are extremely hard to
We're
to
just doing a bunch of patch up jobs upon patch up jobs. We're never actually going to do a major surgery on this squad, man.
yeah,
No.
It's just
unfortunately.
painful every single year, man. And
We
every single
mustn't be
year, Kane and Son is
defeatist.
getting 1 year older, 1 year older. And, like,
We're
you know,
pieces.
Yeah.
eventually we got
Listen,
to press the reset button, man. Eventually.
yeah, but you
But
know what? We've had some fabulous strikers at Spurs, right? We've had even better than Son and Kane. Would you believe?
No,
Right?
Ken is the best one, in my
Kane is the
opinion.
Nah, I
best.
don't agree. We've had Greaves and Gilzine, man. They were the best.
Yeah, but
Greaves
Kane is
and
doing.
Gilzine.
Remember, Kane is doing the
Kane
job of
can't.
two players.
Sorry, Kane can't lace Jimmy Greaves' boots. Not as good.
I haven't
Sorry.
seen Jimmy Greaves
Yeah,
personally
well,
because I'm
watch him
still young.
then. Watch him, and then you can see. You can see how brilliant he was. Kate, Ditches, get on your computer tonight. Go on YouTube, punch in Jimmy Greaves, and you'll see what a star player he was.
You might find it pretty disrespectful from
382
me,
goals.
but the old football,
Like,
I don't think it's real football in my opinion. I
What's
think
not real football?
I don't
oh
think
my
it's real football.
I
That's
can't
the
no,
believe you said
foundations.
that.
because if you look
Dietrich
now,
literally says everything that's like we think
Of course
of it,
it's
but
real
we're too
football,
scared to
man.
say
It
it.
was
What does the
football.
no,
coach
I
have
think
to
Football
say?
played with a heavy leather football on dirt pitches, and they still were
I
technically better than the
I
players now.
no,
Imagine
They
Don't
said
get
Emerson
me
that
wrong,
football is the
pitch.
best
because
football.
Imagine Emerson on those
you
pitches.
don't have as
you know
many
what I
like
mean? He's shit on these carpet pitches. Imagine what it'd be like on the dirt pitches, man.
yeah,
It'd be shitter than shit.
but look at the
Black and
players
white
Kane is going
football.
up against. He's going up against the best defenders. Everyone is good now. Everyone is fast, physical, athletic, everything. In the past, they were smoking and eating hot dogs at halftime.
No way,
Come on.
man. Of course they weren't. They were professional then.
Oh, man. What's you guys' score
Did
predictions
you
for
ever see
Saturday?
did you ever see the 60-61 team play? They were
Uh,
marvelous. They scored 115 goals on those dirt pitches, man. And you're telling me they weren't professional? Of course they were.
I'm
They
not
were
saying they
fit.
weren't.
They were fit. They was just
Oh
as
They were.
fit as
yeah.
the players are now. And they did heavy training. Bill Nicholson had them training every single day. That
Did
team.
he
They
have?
were
Did he?
masters of fitness.
Did he
That's why
have
they scored
the?
Yo,
115 goals.
yo, what you guys are seeing in DK? He's not even that good. You guys are overhyping him. Like I watched like Leverkusen, and I'm not Leverkusen. Does he play for Leverkusen? It is Leverkusen, and I don't see
Frankfurt.
No,
what's so
Frankfurt.
good about him.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Sorry, Frankfurt. Like he's not that good, guys. Come on. I think
He's
Kostic
cheap
was
and
better
he's
than him.
left-footed.
He's better
Uh,
than
I
Longley.
will say this about Nadika.
Berbatov came from
Nadika
Leverkusen,
is
didn't
better
he?
than Davies, and he's better than Langley. And if he was playing with Conte, he'll be even better. I get what
Who
Nah,
are you
you're
talking about? What player?
saying.
Indica.
Nadika.
Oh yeah.
Endika for
Oh
Frankfurt.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does he play for Frankfurt, Endika?
Frankfurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked him. I
Yeah.
liked him at White Lane. He was very commanding. He's a very
Yeah.
good player.
Be a better player under.
He'd be a better player in a better team.
Yeah, with
And Dyer.
yeah. I would take him in a heartbeat over Davies and
He's a proper
So
defender.
why were we not in the transfer window for these players? Like surely Paratici knows about these guys.
Paratici doesn't even know
Maybe
he
he
has
didn't want to leave
He
Frankfurt,
doesn't
you
even
know.
know he has an office. Paratici is a bum. He is.
nah, dude. No, he's not, dude. No, guys. Like, what about the Doji deal, guys? Like, look how well that
He
kid is
brought.
doing. And imagine
He
I'm
him.
brought.
excited about him, but he's not on the team. I'm
You,
excited about
you
it.
signed Emerson.
He signed Emerson for 30 million.
Yeah, Emerson. Imagine signing Emerson.
Yeah,
That-
he was
Look,
decent in Real
even
Betis,
Liverpool's
though.
that's
He was
director
criminal.
of
decent in Real
football makes
Betis.
That's a
mistakes.
criminal offence.
Look, Liverpool make mistakes as well, but when they get it right, boy, do they get it right.
They
never
rarely get it wrong. They
They're
rarely
very,
do.
very rare. A couple of players, but when they get it right, They get it right, and they indoctrinate them in the Liverpool way of playing. We haven't got a style of play.
Well,
Not
exactly.
really.
No,
We
paid
need to get a
45
style of
million for
play.
Brian Hill.
I don't even know what's Conte's
45
style of
million.
play.
What's our
Looking
style
at
of
this
play?
shit,
I can't.
That's a
I
bit
don't
of
even know.
Can't fathom us out.
That's a bit of Skriniar.
Or if it's counter-attacking or
I don't
what
blame
it is.
Conte
It's
for
just so
that.
confusing, you know.
I don't blame Conte for our lack of style of
Why
play.
was it at the end of last season, the last 4 months, we looked quite good, and now we look like hell?
Because
Yeah, we look like
Kulusevski
Because
was our
Kulu's
only
not
creative
here.
player.
it makes
Because
a
the
difference
manager,
when
Kulu's
Kulu's
not
in the
here.
team.
because
What
the
a
Kulu's
manager,
talented
vital.
player he
one
is.
player
Yes.
out, and the whole team just goes to
Yes.
hell.
this
He's our only
Yes,
good
yes,
creative player, and he was world class.
yes. With,
How
look
many-
at
You know what it
Liverpool
is,
without Van
Del?
Dijk. They're nothing.
Kulu, right? He's not just one player. He's like four players because first of all, right, he can actually control the ball because none of our team, apart from Kane, can control the ball.
I
Maybe
don't think,
Bentancur slightly, but he's not the finished article.
I don't
But
think,
Kulu, he can control the ball. He keeps the ball. He brings players into play. He
Yeah.
sees a pass. He's got a beautiful left foot. He's the complete player in my eyes.
I
The
think
only
Kulu,
thing,
So
the
why
only
is it
thing
that
he lacks,
Kulusevski was
he's got
getting
strength
dropped earlier this season if it was on him
because he
alone?
wanted
can
to,
I?
Conte wanted to
Because
give
he was
him a
on
wake
form.
up call because he dropped off on form a little bit.
No,
But when he's on point, when that player's on point, he's fantastic. I
we're
love
not there.
watching Kulu.
He's still
It's
got
We're not
4
exciting.
goal contributions in 7 games. Like,
Can I just
Yeah.
can I just say very quickly? He's not playing well because one, it's Conte changing the formation. Now they're playing as like attacking mids instead of wingers.
I think they always
And
were.
two, no, they're not like this season. And number two, the manager bounce is done. Everyone has dropped off, especially after the.
The bounce ended when
The
we lost to
bounce. The
Wolves,
manager
Southampton, and
bounce.
But
Miracle.
hold
I
on,
think
we
a
were
big
crap-
part
we
of
were-
Yeah,
it
but
we
we're
were
too.
still
crap in
third.
December and January.
I
We're
think
still
a big part
third.
of it is
So
too.
we're not.
Back then, at the ending of last year, right? We were playing one game a week. Now we're
No, it
playing
wasn't
2
one
games
game.
a week.
That's very true. That's very
Yeah,
true.
that makes that's what Alex Davies said. Look at the proof is in the pudding when we start playing 2 games a week. And
Proof
the
is in
play
the
the
pudding.
players have got fatigue as well. Some of those
To be
players
fair, even
are looking
Arsenal are dropping
tired.
points now 2 games a week. A draw at
Yeah.
Southampton, they lost tonight.
They lost tonight.
They got an
Go,
easy game
go,
on
go,
Sunday.
go, go
They
check
wouldn't-
out
they
your
wouldn't
boy
win.
Terry Fleurs, Stelios.
Is that
Go check out your boy Terry Fleurs. He kissing
Fleurs.
Arsenal arse.
He got Dan today. He got Dan.
He looks so
Terry's
quiet tonight,
always-
man.
Terry
Do you know,
is always
do you know who else
riding on
kisses
Arsenal. I
Arsenal's
don't know.
ass? Sky Sports
He's
kisses
always
Arsenal's
riding
ass.
on Arsenal, dude.
Talk sport.
But
all
Dan
of
liked it though. Dan liked it. But he got Dan yesterday. But no. Just to say, no. I think Kulu with the Premier League, the teams know they have to respect him, and it actually benefits Kane and Sonny. When he is not there, I swear these teams are like, yo, be stuck on Son and Kane like white on rice.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, I agree.
it's a big part that we're dropping points. I still think we'll be like maybe tied for second, but like I was telling, my cousin or the Arsenal people, I said us missing Kulu was huge, huge, and for him to not come back till after the World Cup, it's like a new signing for us. It feels like because of just what we have to deal with these next couple.
Yeah.
Even
Is he really out till the World Cup?
even
I
the
strongly
World
believe.
Cup. Yeah, he's not playing before the World Cup.
I see him posting a picture with like an hourglass. I don't know if that means anything, or I don't know if it's just soon he's gonna come
Or
back
even-
before the World Cup or what.
even the
I
one thing I
strongly believe.
realized. One thing I realized. Do you remember when we got Bentancur and Kulusevski? The levels got even better. But now after this summer, when you see we have Spence, garbage like Longley, does that give hope to the players?
Do you think Longley is garbage?
He is garbage. He is shit.
No,
man.
no, no,
He's not
no,
shit.
no, no, no,
I,
no,
I
He's
no,
not
don't rate
no,
Lemley
shit.
no,
either. I
I
don't
don't
He's
rate
rate
him.
average.
him, but he's not
no,
shit. He's
Bang
not
average.
shit.
no,
Even
no.
Perisic is shit.
At least he
Yeah,
can
I agree.
pass the ball.
Perisic is shit. Yeah.
Perisic
Per-
has been playing shit, but he's just not a shit player. He's
Per-
just
Yeah.
been
Paris
playing
Perisic is
Conte
shit.
player,
flawed, man.
right?
Flawed.
That's a player Conte wanted, right? So we can't blame that on the club. That's a player that
But
Conte
It
Perisic,
was a
wanted.
free transfer.
but yet it's there. Perisic, when he looks to his right, Borrella, Bastoni, like they're like good players right next to him. Where he looks to his left, you got Ben Davies.
He's thinking, what's the
Okay.
point?
So why didn't he just resign with Inter then? He should. Why did he come
Because
here?
they didn't want him, probably.
To
They
Conte.
wanted to
He got-
No,
offload
no,
him.
no. They
Challenge.
still wanted him,
He
but
got duped. He
Conte
thought there was
Paul.
going to be more players coming in. Like the biggest bullshit, because I saw the blurb. I know you guys saw this. Oh, we're going to go after Barella in January, or Lucatelli in January. There's no way we're getting those two guys. I would love it, but there is no way we're getting Barella or Lucatelli in. But first of all, Juventus, I believe he's unhappy. But Juventus is going to start minimum with Lucatelli, 50 million. We're not playing 50 mil for Lucatelli.
But why
Chelsea-
aren't we?
Chelsea,
What about
might-
McKinney? McKinney though, you're getting
Do you mean
McKinney
we
though.
haven't got the draw to attract him to our club?
now they may be willing to sell McKinney for 25 mil, 27 mil, which is a bargain. McKinney scores again in Champions League. If you look at the goals he scored for Champions League, there's people that are like, oh, McKinney scores goals from the midfield. We don't have we don't
They've
have a
scored
midfield
5.
that scores.
They've scored 5 in the midfield. Højbjerg 3 and Bentancur 2.
McKinney scores goals from the midfield. This guy, effective passer, he gets into the box. I see that more realistically. But Lucatelli and Barella, yeah, that's not happening. We're not paying those prices. We're not paying.
We're dreaming if we think we're signing those guys.
Yeah, that's not happening.
What about
They can pick the more, the clubs that are winning things like Real Madrid, Inter Milan. So they won Serie A 2 years ago.
What
as
about the
well.
Ruben Neves, man? Like, I don't think he's impossible for us to get.
When I first said this,
But he's almost like the same.
That's right, Scott.
Yeah,
Well said.
I keep saying. That's what I keep saying. The player that we were linked before, Stabitzer, would be so effective for our team.
He's so old. He's old.
He's
Sabitzer?
How old is Sabitzer?
Is that
He's
26?
26.
26.
26. No,
Yeah.
no way. Shots. That blonde guy
Or
that
20
used to play for
No, he's
Liverpool.
in his 20s for sure.
Yeah, Stabitzer's not in his 30s.
Ever.
He's at
I'm
28
pretty sure he's in
max.
his 30s.
Maybe 27. But he's
28.
just on the wrong team. He is on the wrong team. And I said that when he signed with Bayern. I'm like, I don't think that's the right team for him. I was like, it was either our team, and I was hoping that he didn't go to Arsenal.
What about that
28.
Hungarian kid that signed for RB Leipzig?
He's
I forgot
28.
his name.
Well, Sabozlai.
Sabatzalai, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, I'm better than him, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Do you
Uh,
guys think if we bought Tillemans and Madison, we'd be
Tillemans
improved?
Tillemans wouldn't start, and Madison.
It's too expensive.
Did
Yeah,
you
too expensive.
did you see the goal Tillemans scored?
Yeah, but I want
Apparently
Milinkovic
Conte doesn't
Savic.
want Madison.
I would take Madison, but he's too
Madison,
expensive.
man.
I
He's
want
not here.
Milinkovic.
They're ballers, both of them. They're ballers. Tillemans is a baller, and Madison is a baller.
The
Who's taking-
How's
ideal
Madison
midfielder
fit?
for us is
How's Madison
SMS.
fit?
That's the number one, should be the number one target.
Madison's versatile. He could move out to the wing. He could be an inverted midfielder. If, like, say, if we're trailing, like the game on this past game, where Conte can make an adjustment. Like, the midfielders that he's had, like the Pielos, and even the Ericsson. Okay, they may not have started, but when he's had to make like a transition, or he has had to kind of change the formation a bit, he will implement them in. what's good about Madison is that, and what people were telling me is that he can sometimes play out in the wing. So if, like, for example, if you didn't want to start Kulu and you want to put Madison in, will also help us out with depth in the sense where you could now move him into the middle, if you want to put Kulu in. It gives us so much
Square
options.
pegs in round holes.
It's he's a good player. I would love for Madison to be on the team, but we're not paying that price. That is a fact.
No, I
But
don't
does
think
Conte even want him?
I don't think Conte wants him. He doesn't
Yeah.
like party.
Why?
He doesn't like party boy English players. He just doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Why
He
didn't
is.
we get
Players.
Sewell?
Who?
Sorry.
Why didn't we get Sewell, that centre back from Dortmund, when he was like on a free and like nobody really wanted him before Dortmund snatched
Oh,
him?
because
I feel like
we have Paratici. He doesn't know shit. I'm telling you, he
like
goes and buys
State
players
for
that he has
director.
contacts. That he
Here we
has
like
go.
contacts
imagine
with
you
them.
had him instead of Langley or something. It would have made a huge difference in my opinion.
Just
Because I was
Would it?
watching that.
Just to
Even
give you a perspective, if we
even
had like Campos from Paris, on 60 million, he would buy you the best players and win you a title. Unfortunately, we don't have that. We bought the wrong person.
We just need to sell the whole thing and start fresh. We're just doing bare patch-up jobs, man. Like
Yeah, I
we're
agree.
just gonna go around in circles and circles. You'll see. We'll be back having the same conversation next year, man. You'll see.
Or in 10 years' time.
Or 10 years, we'll still. But we just need to press the reset button. Let Kane go. Have him. Let him go win his trophies and have a great career. Like, and just start
He
afresh,
hasn't
man.
got
Like
that long
this.
to
That'll
go
break
It's
my
yet,
so
heart,
Xavier.
man.
annoying,
That'll
man.
break my
It's so
heart. Don't
annoying.
say
He
that.
hasn't got that many
start
years
fresh
left in
with
him.
Paratici and Levy at the wheel. See, I would start fresh if we had the football director from Bayern.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Start fresh. Like
Even
everything.
you have to start fresh. But if you do that,
Not with this club.
Conte needs to go.
Yeah, I don't think he's the guy for a proper rebuild. I don't think he even wants to be that guy.
No, he's
But
not
we
doing
have
it.
to win a trophy before we start talking like that, guys. Like, I want to win a
Buddy,
trophy
my
first, then you
friend,
can start
nobody.
talking
We're
about
not gonna win a trophy playing the way we have been playing. Okay.
Did anybody see Conte's interview on I can't remember if it was on Sky Sports or BBC, but he said, right, that he feels part of the family. He was very welcomed, that it's a work in progress
Oh,
at
no.
Spurs. Hold on a
It's
moment.
just
Let me
media
just have
talk.
my say. Let me just have my say. Right. He said it's a work in progress at Spurs. That he knows that we need 3 more transfer windows to get to the promised land, basically. That's what he was saying. Right. And the way he was talking, he was like here for the long haul. But you
If
don't
you
know. You don't know
My
100%. At the moment, at this given time, he feels like he wants to stay. Yeah, but with Levy in charge, that can all change because that man, right, he's a control freak, right? And if Conte don't seize the power from him fully, like Bill Nicholson had the full power of the club, it's a recipe for disaster because Conte will not stand Levy bossing him. Yeah, because he's got a good relationship with Levy at the moment, but it can all change in a second, just like
if
that.
Conte
he
feels
should
a part of the family and all of this that you just mentioned there, right? Why hasn't he still signed a contract?
because he's lying.
Waiting for
It's all
Kane.
He
PR.
is. That's
No, you
exactly.
know why? Because he doesn't feel like he's got the power yet, but he's trying to get all of the power from Levy.
It's
He's
all
trying to
PR.
seize it. He's trying to
Ellie,
seize it.
it's all PR. Do not believe one thing he says.
No,
Exactly.
I
Because
look,
he came out and he said he was happy
Conte's
with the transfer
Conte
window.
would not. Conte is not a liar. He's an
He
He
said
is
honest
a
man.
liar.
he actually
He's not
is.
a
I
liar.
think he is because you
Where
know why?
everywhere he
He
goes, he
came out
speaks
and
his
he said he
mind. He
was
speaks
happy
his
with that
mind.
summer transfer window. There is no way he was happy with that transfer window, and now he's complaining that doesn't have enough players. That doesn't make any sense. He's a
No, he
liar
doesn't.
to
He
me.
Playing
doesn't.
chess.
No, he doesn't complain. What he does, if you listen to what he does carefully, he said we're not we're not there. We're not going to be able to compete with this current squad. He's honest. He's so honest. He wears his heart on his sleeve. That's why I believe him when he says that he feels part of the family. He does. He wants to get a home where he's accepted, because everywhere he's gone, they've vilified him and they've chucked him out, right? Even though he's won things for those clubs, right? Like Chelsea treated him like shit. They treated him like shit. They threw him out, right? So now, all he's got to do is make sure that he gets all the players that he needs by the time that he feels put the building blocks in, get his players in, not the ones that he's inherited now, because they're not good enough. He knows it. He says it all the time. You know, when we lost to Burnley, he went on meltdown, didn't he? Do you remember? He went on meltdown because he knows that we're not good enough. And he said, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, right? He kept on reiterating that we're not there, right? So this board who've got their head up their arses, take their head out of their arse and actually back this manager, not sack him like they've done with all the rest of them. Yeah, back him and let him be in charge, and then we will win things. But if Levy's there, we will win fuck all. I'm telling you.
The only thing I'm asking
Fuck all.
Conte is being like he keeps the same energy. If you're not happy with the squad, then don't ever say I'm happy with the transfer window. Be honest with yourself. It's not good enough. Stop. He's lying to himself
When have
and
you
the
heard
club.
that Conte's he's happy? He didn't say
He
he's
said
happy.
He said that. He said that.
He
He
never
did
said
say.
it.
I saw he
said-
did. Go check, Ellie. I'm not lying.
What
He did.
station was this on?
It was on. I think
1
it
minute.
was
That's
on.
not what he said. 1 minute. What he
He
said.
didn't say it.
No, 1
I
minute.
know
1
he
minute.
didn't say
No, no.
it. Write everything he says down.
I remember.
So I've
I
got it
remember
in
what
my
he
head
said.
and still reiterate.
That was 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah.
What he said was something in the middle.
Yeah, cool.
He said, if the transfer windows continue like this, I will be happy. He never said he's happy. He said if the transfer business continues like this, he will be happy. But by saying that, he's effectively saying, I'm happy with that window. Keep it up.
But it was a decent window.
So he was happy with the summer window, right?
Well,
by him saying that.
To be honest with you, I don't believe what he said. I don't believe that for 1 second.
But that's why I'm saying he's a liar.
Well, Jose said he was happy. Poch was all right. Everyone's happy until they get sacked. Then they're like,
they're all liars.
I think promises have been made and they're towing the line. They're just towing the line for now. But you will know the truth. If this goes wrong, Conte ain't gonna mix his words. He'll say exactly what went down.
Yeah.
But hopefully
like
we don't get to
when
that
he
stage.
threw Chelsea under the bus.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have.
no. He sued Chelsea and won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
He
have
threw
the
them under
Batman
the bus and then he sued their
But-
asses.
Basically.
I don't have the Batman song. But I can make a Batman hum song.
Oh no, not her.
You is in the house. He
Here comes the rainbow.
You've been hearing us rant for the last 3 hours.
You got to beatbox.
Hey, boys, and the Queen. How are you all?
Oh, shut up,
Another
CQ.
woman on the panel. Come on, the women. I was getting lonely here, C Cubed, with all these men.
Yeah,
around me.
it's actually been a while since I've been on a panel with you, Ellie.
She was taking
Yeah,
care
lovely.
of her baby son. She was taking care of son.
Don't start, please don't start. I'm gonna leave. I can't
I said,
in debate. No more
Ellie,
something.
I said nothing.
I know.
So
I know. I'm talking to these.
Dietrich is always just starting. He's always trying to start trouble.
Yeah,
Bench on for Gil.
Nobody said anything about Son.
Troublemaker though, Steak.
You have to choose.
Steak.
You can talk about Eric Dyer's wonderful new contract. You could talk about Spurs transfer for January. We have to sell to buy. we could talk about Messi if he's going to start in the 3-4-3 over shit,
Yo, Messi.
Messi. I mean shit, Lucas. Or you could talk about the offsides. You have the choice. Have your say.
Son
Wait, hold
didn't
on.
play
Just
well.
to clarify, wait, I thought that it's rumored that Dyer, they're looking at a new contract for Dyer, right? It's not like confirmed, right?
I hope it's a rumor.
It's gonna happen.
We're fucked. We're fucked.
All right,
How old
all
is
right.
how old is he?
Just
3
checking.
more years of Dyer.
I know the best. But I love Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer loves me.
And there's probably gonna be another 2 years added on to that.
Decade of Dyer.
We love Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer loves us, right? So
Eric Dyer loves leaving.
yes, keep staying with us all the time. Yeah.
Dyer,
No, you know what I want to talk about? So I
5
wanna
more years of that.
I'm
I
out,
wanna
guys.
talk
Take care.
about-
Have a nice night.
That's the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to say that I'm really annoyed that Conte got a red card. I
I'm
mean,
annoyed too.
I'm really, really annoyed with that because I feel like whatever we want to say about VAR, I mean, I think we deserved the goal, whatever, right? But like we played like shit. We were not good. We were bad. Yeah. So if you had told us, you had told me, I didn't watch, if I hadn't watched the second half and you had told me during like in the first half and been like, oh, we're gonna lose at the end of this, then I would be, yep, that makes sense. That's about right. And if you had told me like half through the second half that we were going to draw, and I would be like, yep, that makes sense. So I actually don't feel like it's like, I'm like, well, based off of our performance, like, we deserve a draw. But that being said, so I'm not like going to get that much into the VAR stuff, but like, I feel like giving Conte the red card for yelling at the ref, which everybody else was doing. He wasn't doing anything that nobody else was doing at the same time.
I think he
Like,
cursed him.
yeah, but so was everybody. So
No,
I mean,
him. I think he cursed him pretty bad if he got a red card like that.
Yeah.
so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, they're just
Well, for refs, yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. Refs. I mean, well, but my point is that like the refs are like they just took this win, which also would have gotten us like to out of that group stage right from under us. They should have just like chilled, but instead they basically like they took the knife and they twisted it into us by giving Conte a red card. You know, I just feel like it's like really annoying that he got the red card because they just basically like twisted the knife or poured salt in the wound.
Yeah.
I've got an idea.
Won't come to France next week.
What? Yeah, we're away. We're away to Marseille.
Wait,
Yeah,
does
so
that mean
I'm
Conte won?
Is anybody going to the Marseille game here?
Oh no!
Can't get tickets.
Do you want to get stabbed in Marseille?
No.
We're stabbed by steak.
I've been to Marseille.
Stabbed in
before and I
Marseille?
got stabbed.
Dude, we live in London.
No.
We live in London. Do you know if the offside? I know what they should do. Cancel all rules when it's like extra time. Like when it hits the 90th minute, all rules gone except fouls.
Did you see that Arsenal player got stabbed in Milan today? He's in hospital.
Yeah,
now.
Pablo
Yeah,
Mari.
Pablo
Wait,
Mari.
what?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Mari.
five people got stabbed in Milan.
Stabbed.
Fucking hell.
Him and another player they got
He's
stabbed.
on loan, isn't he, Pablo Mari?
Yeah.
No, he got sold.
He's an Arsenal player, but he's on loan.
No, he's
or
on
did he
loan.
get sold?
I
No,
thought
I
he
think
was
he's
on loan.
sold.
On loan
for-
to where?
Like Milan.
No,
Somewhere.
not Milan.
AC Milan.
No, he's playing for a garbage team in Serie A.
It's I've lived in Italy for two months, and I've walking the streets of Rome can be a bit dangerous.
It's not dangerous.
I'm
I
going
went
to
there.
Rome.
It's not dangerous.
I went there in 2010. I don't know how it is now, but when I went there, heavily congested, and and people say, "Hey, you just need to be
Oh yeah,
careful."
he is alone.
Big up Dan.
Milan, I actually felt much safer walking the streets of Milan and even Napoli,
Aslan, yeah.
Naples. I felt
Did
safer
you
in
meet
that.
Maradona lovers?
Yeah, I've seen the even Napoli. They're crazy in love with this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Napoli are
think he's
top
like
of
a
the league,
god. It's
man.
like he's like a god, Maradona. Like
Oh,
there's a word
they
for it. They're like the
they pray more
Maradona
on him
god.
than
Oh,
God.
someone was talking about this the other day. I don't know, it was Henry Rice's channel, whatsoever. Iggy gets mad, but my de facto Italian club is Napoli because of Maradona.
And me, man, I'm Napoli too.
Yeah, my dad raised me on Maradona and Argentine soccer, and so I followed that. And so I saw the shrine before he died that Napoli has done for Maradona. And I tell you, man, this guy is like God.
You know, in Naples, Murray, they sing this song, "Ho visto Maradona, ho visto Maradona." Then they go, "Hey, mama," right? Basically, what they're saying is, "I saw Maradona, I saw Maradona." Yo, mama, I saw Maradona. They sing
Yeah.
that song every match day.
Oh, it's a really
And
good
if,
song. I like
and
that
if you
song.
get to Italy, you know there's a big difference between the North and the South. And
Yeah.
Maradona was a huge South secession supporter. And so, which would cause huge controversy in the 1990 World
Rich
Cup.
and poor.
Because, yeah, because, if you go to the South is poor. The North is big, powerful, and rich, kind of like in the United States. New York, the North is powerful and rich, but in the South, it's kind of more poverty and stuff. So, when this guy brought glory to Napoli, man, you could see it on the streets, man.
Yeah.
And so it's if you ever get a chance to go to Napoli, it's beautiful city. You get to eat pizza, the original pizza.
I wasn't
Mount Vesuvius.
Maria.
Beautiful.
I
Yeah.
wasn't when I went there. I wasn't a fan with Napoli. It's not the best city to go there, honestly.
Yeah. No,
It's not funny,
Napoli,
man.
it's a rough city because
It's a rough city.
it's a rough city. The people you will have to fall in love with. I'll be honest.
They
When I
do
went
good
there,
food there.
I didn't. I was kind of surprised because when I went there, one of the neighborhoods I drove by, it was. I can say this because I'm a black guy, but I was like, oh man, there's a lot of black people in the city of Napoli, and they were explaining to me that a lot of them, immigration problem, just like the United States and stuff. And I was really surprised, but they were telling me a lot of them, work for the mafia, and some of them have become even more powerful than the mafia.
Yeah.
The documentary.
Murray,
and-
Napoli's Greek, yeah. Like the Greeks gave Naples to the Italians. Napoli in Greek means the new city, Neapolis.
Yeah.
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 But that whole area, Sicily, has been conquered
You
by
Greek toilets.
by everybody.
Yeah.
But
Sicily's the most beautiful part of Italy, man. It's stunning.
when I
And,
went to Sicily, the architecture is so unique because you had the influence of Arab, Greek, Turkish. Like everybody has gone through Sicily and southern Italy.
Beatrix.
So if you
the
Greek
Greeks
toilet.
are always with the
Very
Italians,
unique.
isn't it?
Dietrich is a natural treasure.
Yeah, very unique.
My mum said
steak empire.
my mum
Yeah.
was born in Cyprus, right? But my father
You
is
speak
like,
steakish.
no, he's Italian. There's parts of Italian. There's part of Italian. My husband's got Italian in him as well, right?
Alex, you're
For fuck's
crazy.
sake, right? So my father-in-law is family's from Florence, right?
Okay.
And he said the south is the poorer elements of Italy, but they've come up a little bit more now. They've got a little bit more money. But he said the north is all German. He said that they're the German Italians. He goes, we don't like them in the north. In the south, we're the proper Italians. And then you go to Sicily, and then you get the proper Italians. He said, but like they're really traditional Italians. you know, in the
Yeah.
traditional sense, in
Like,
terms of they
you
keep the
know,
culture and the
stuff like
everything
that.
like that. Whereas the North, they're very cosmopolitan and they're very modern. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my father-in-law's take on it. I don't know whether it's true because I've never been to Italy, but I'm going to go for the first time very soon, actually. So yeah,
So
just wanted to put that out there. Has anybody been to Italy here?
I went this summer.
Yeah, loads
Last
of
summer.
fun.
I stayed there for 2 months.
No, I
Me
know
for
you
1
have,
month.
Mari. I know you have.
Mari, did
So
you
you
have
stayed.
pineapple on your pizza?
Oh hell
Oh
no!
yeah,
I don't think they at that
hell
time it was
no.
Isn't that illegal there?
But pineapple on pizza is so good. It's actually good.
It's beautiful, man.
I
I
had a
swear
lot of
it's good.
How about just
pesto.
steak on the pizza? Just steak.
Pineapple on pizza's all right. It's okay, but it's not
It's not
like the
bad.
best topping. The best topping I like is pepperoni.
Astaghfirullah.
I love pepperoni on pizza, and black olives is nice.
Do you
Yeah.
know the best pizza in Italy, but you got to go to like the home mama's cooking is the classic margherita, but they do it with it's called quattro formaggio. It's with 4 different cheeses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
lovely,
it.
lovely
It's
That
still.
is still, and
Very
they put right
nice.
at the end, they put a little bit of oregano and olive oil at the end. That
Yeah,
pizza is the absolute nuts.
it's
not the best
delicious.
one when they
Yeah,
put homemade pesto on it.
Pesto. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I was gonna say.
yeah.
See,
It's
That's nice as well,
delicious.
man.
let me tell you guys something. When I came back to the States, and the people, some people believe me,
You
but
boycotted Domino's.
people thought I was. I mean, mind you, I had New York pizza, but when I came back to the States,
I
people
like you.
thought I was over embellishing. I said, no, it's the truth. When you leave United States, because food is so processed, the pesto there in Italy tastes so different. It was
Yeah, yeah.
literally
Butter.
fresh.
Yeah,
When I go to Europe, even when I go to England, and I come back to the States, I always feel like I've got more nutrients leaving the United States than eating in the United States. And
Mari,
when
your food in America, yeah,
It's
I've got to
disgusting.
say, the standard, your quality standards are nowhere near as good as Europe.
no,
European
it's not.
quality standards
I
are
agree
higher.
with you. I agree with you because when I went to Italy, right, I came back. I was just telling people like, my goodness, the food here, like,
yeah.
is so much
It's
different.
not heavy. It's not heavy.
Yeah,
You eat a whole
Mari,
pizza, you're not gonna throw up after.
But your
Mari,
literally,
burgers are
go
better.
to
American
Greece and
burgers
you'll
are still the
find
best.
even
That ain't
better
fair.
food
American
than
hamburger, cheeseburger,
Italians.
forget it. Next level.
couldn't believe
Do
it.
you know Gordon Ramsay went to Greece with what's his name? That stupid Italian.
Gino.
Gino Caticampo. Yeah, and he was winding him up that Greek food is much better than Italian food. Right. And it was so funny. The program was hilarious.
But
With
Greek
Gordon
food is
Ramsay.
disgusting.
And then they had that
Especially
French
their
guy as
wannabe
well.
shawarmas.
It was so
All,
funny.
all Moroccan food is a disgrace, bro. All Moroccan
It's way better
every
than
dish.
Greek food.
Every
Ask
single dish.
any
Even the
one of
plates. Even the plates.
ask
You know
any
what,
one of
Every
you.
country's got its beautiful
Dietrich,
food.
you know what
Read my
stopped me
name.
from going, you know what stopped me from going to Morocco?
Sorry?
COVID. I was
Oh, it's
supposed to
a
go.
beautiful country.
I was supposed to. Yo, I was so excited. I
It's
was
so
supposed
shit there, Mari. It's so shit.
to, in May.
Better than Greece.
May, May 2020. I was supposed to go with a my friend's father for a leadership summit in Morocco, and they had to cancel that because COVID came in March. You know, we had the lockdown. It stopped me
Yeah,
from going to Morocco. It stopped me from
right.
going to Colombia. I mean, that year I was so pissed off, and it stopped me from going to see my friend um, in England. And it was the year I'm supposed to go to some of the games for the Euros 2020. I was supposed to go see one of my favorite alternative rock bands in England because I was planning to stay a good month over there, and then I wanted to meet my good mate's dad and talk about some things. Never got to see him. Sadly, he passed away later in the year of COVID.
Oh, that's sad.
Um, so that really broke my heart because that summer
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna see you. We're gonna stop at Costa and do our usual and just talk really a mentor because my dad passed away years ago, so he was kind of like a father figure to me. Never
Yeah.
got because he died later on in December from COVID, and that year it just ruined some opportunities for me because I had the chance to go to Morocco, and I was
Yeah.
really excited, but that trip got canceled.
What you should do then, Mari, why don't you book a trip to Morocco to pay homage to the guy, you know, to really go back. Do it, man. Life
I
is too
should.
short.
Bro,
should.
flights are cheap, Mari. They're cheap at the
Yeah.
moment, man.
If you
Yeah.
really want to do it, man.
I should do it. I mean, I am a world traveler, man, so I
Yeah,
should.
man. And there are
You
nice
know,
Moroccan women there as well, Mari. You know what I
true.
mean?
I would have to
Very
go.
looking like me.
I've always wanted to go to Morocco, but it's not safe for women in Morocco. Just look at Dietrich and the way he treats me. So
Yeah, 'cause- But- you got me. You got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
should
But I was gonna go with him, and he knows Morocco. I would have to go with someone or hire a
Just
tour
meet
guide.
up with Dietrich. He'll sort you out.
Yeah,
I'll take care of Mari.
yeah.
Just
But I
don't
want,
take any women with you.
if
You'll
it's
be
Stelios, I swear I'm gonna snitch on him on the cops. Just take him away. Like Greek toilet.
Have you, Mari, have you ever been to any Greek islands?
I missed a chance to go to Greece during grad school.
Okay. If you're going to go to a Greek island, I highly recommend Kefalonia. It's so beautiful there. It's
You give me a call, I'll
amazing.
come with you, man.
I love it. I
No,
love
that-
Kefalonia, even
Where-
better than my mum's country,
My
Cyprus.
bucket list is
Kefalonia is stunning.
It's stunning. It's stunningly
Some of-
beautiful.
There's a nice island above Italy called Livadia.
I
And
wanna
all the
go to
footballers
And there's
go
another
there.
island called
We've got loads of
Stakeland.
footballers.
I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Croatia. I want to go to Split. All of my
Croatia is beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a
That's
little
where
cheaper.
they filmed Captain
Big Greece.
Corelli's Mandolin.
Yeah.
Right? The film Captain Corelli's Mandolin was from Kefalonia. I went there. I've been there twice now. Right? But the first time I went, you know, when you go to somewhere the first time, you don't always go to the best places, right? I was up high in the mountains the first time as well. So it was quite scary coming down because the roads are not good. That's the one bad thing about Kefalonia. The roads in the mountains are atrocious. So the second time I went down the bottom. Yeah,
Greece is
obviously,
such an expensive country.
Kefalonia is quite cheap to go to.
No, I mean like visiting, like going to hotels. Like when I was looking during the summer, everything was expensive.
You
Because
just
you're
got to
flying
know
from
people,
America.
Tricks.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's my issue for us.
Yeah. It,
For us, it's expensive.
compared to Croatia, it's a little bit more expensive, but I still want to go. I'm an architecture nerd. I want to go to Sarantini. I want to go to the coast.
If you like architecture, the Greek islands, man, you've got
Yeah.
every
And
art-
you have Mari,
and Turkey
you have
as well. Turkey's got
Turkey
beautiful
is
architecture.
beautiful.
Yeah,
But
but
Mari,
the Greeks built. You know, the Greeks built Constantinople. Istanbul is built by the Greeks. It weren't
yeah,
the
and then the
Turks.
Turkish took it from them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
battered us.
Suck on that, Stelios.
My best friend said
They
the
battered
best
us.
time that he had is near Turkey. He had fun in Lebanon, and for him, he was single at that time. He said some of the most beautiful women. He was in Lebanese.
Murray, Lebanese women are the hottest women. I
Yeah,
swear
see,
now.
I knew
And,
it was going to get to this.
and
Yeah.
Lebanese food is the best ever.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Lebanese food is
there's
amazing.
some really nice Lebanese restaurants in London as well. Isn't
Oh,
there?
Lebanese food is so good.
Stelios, I disagree on the women. They have like nose like Pinocchio noses.
Or
It's
better
disgusting.
than Eastern Europe.
No, you're crazy.
Dietrich
You're
makes
crazy.
me laugh, man.
Orlando.
True, man.
Fucking hell. What about
Sorry?
Greek
We have a
women
lot of
then?
Turkish
Oh.
What about Greek women? Do you like Greek women?
We actually have good Turkish restaurants in Orlando. We have a lot of we got a huge Turkish population here in Orlando, so there's a lot of restaurants here. Lebanese food, I've only had that once, and that was in New York. They have a Lebanese restaurant in New York.
Still, you
But-
have to try the shawarmas in Canada. You have to try them when you come to Toronto.
Dude, I go to Edgware Road in London. It's the best shawarmas in Europe outside of
but
the
you
Middle
guys,
East.
no, us it's plates. It's not sandwiches, it's plates. Huge plates.
Dude, shawarma in Edgware Road, London is a whole road of just nothing but Arab dudes with every restaurant, bar, pop-up shop. They're just it's shawarma heaven.
Okay.
Hold on,
But
what does Dan know about begging to differ on the women?
He's a little player. He's a little player. Oh, yeah.
Yo, Dan, this isn't a local mall, dude.
He's in Miami.
Terry is not here. Terry's not here.
This isn't Walmart.
So he can say something. He's in Miami. If you know anything about Miami. But he just delivered me some good news. I've hit 300 subs. Yes.
Congratulations, Mari.
Oh,
301. 301.
I've hit 300. Oh, thank you guys. Wow.
You're 301, Mari. 301.
301. Oh,
Mario,
man.
you just pulled the
Nice one.
Spurs when they won their first trophy.
302 now. 302.
This is like the Audi Cup for me. Yes.
You're like Davinson Sanchez lifting it.
Oh, yeah. No, the man of the match is Emerson. Yes.
At least it's better than Alex's page.
I cannot believe it. Oh, 302 actually. Wow. Thank you guys. First I want to say
You're bigger than Mr. Box Office.
I'm the head of the box office.
Yeah, he's got like 150 subs. Dan's like twice the size of him.
Yeah.
No, Alex Box Office is on 299.
Oh, no shit.
Oh,
Mari's ahead. Mari's ahead by 3.
all right. I gotta get on. We are Tottenham TV to get my.
Big up Dan.
So I need to get there to get to 1,000. If I get on We Are Tottenham TV, then I can get to 1,000.
Invite you on, Mari.
Just go
Good talk
and
about
twerk on We Are Tottenham TV. You're gonna get at least 100 subs.
Yeah.
it.
Get 200.
Or do an OnlyFans. Yeah, that
Okay.
would help.
Only fans of
Or go
Dan's
make a
man.
fool of yourself in a Terran group.
You know who's bigger than We Are Tottenham TV?
Expressions.
Expressions.
Yeah.
Expressions is twice as big.
He made his
Expression is
debut on the
massive.
Big Six.
Expression
He
is
made his
massive.
debut.
Yeah, he's
I don't want to
got a
mention the
nice
name,
personality, man. He's funny, man. He
but
makes
Terry
me
Flores
laugh.
went after Expressions too. He's going after every Tottenham person.
You have to go watch him on Big Six today. This guy was mental. First
Who's that?
appearance on the show.
I think so.
Expressions.
What did he say? What was he say?
He start every day. He says something about Tottenham. He never used to be that way.
Expressions was on the Big 6.
Yeah, he is. He was. I swear.
That must have been absolute carnage.
It was
No.
carnage today.
Wait. Dietrich, are you talking about like Terry on the Terrace group? On the Terrace whatever?
No, the one with
Turkish channel.
Turkish. Yeah.
Oh, I was just about to say because
Right.
I was like, wait, that
What,
doesn't
who,
make
who
sense.
did he take? Did he take Tobes' place?
Yeah, he took top space.
Well, yeah, he has to because there has to be one rep from
He's
each.
a big personality, isn't he? He's got his own
You know,
clothing
It
line.
makes
as
me
well,
laugh when he
man.
calls it fossil football, man. What is this?
Yeah, fossil football. Not champagne football. Well, like he was saying
Champagne
at Wembley,
football, fossil
champagne
football.
football.
Steak football.
I like
Fake football.
Katie Hopkins settings.
I'm not gonna lie. I like champagne football. I just love Dan. You know he made fun of you today, Terry Flores, but you were such a sport. You liked it. I saw that you liked it. So
And Fleurs.
Yeah,
And Fleurs.
because it's Dan Fleurs.
And Fleurs.
yeah.
He loves expressions. Is that what you're saying?
No, he was making fun of Dan today about his celebration of the Kane goal. Like I take it back, but Dan and Danny Bunn liked it. So in good sport. So, but
Well, I mean, if Dan continues with throwing throwing the chairs at walls and everything,
He only,
people are
he
gonna
only
clip
needs,
that.
he,
We're gonna
he
clip
only needs
that
another
shit.
5. He only
Yeah,
needs
see,
another 5 more to get 1K.
Kissing that gooner ass.
So he's kissing your ass still?
Little tap, 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 tap
Yeah.
that.
Stop talking,
Did you return
CQ.
that
We don't
Arsenal shirt still?
Sorry?
Did you return the Arsenal shirt?
Yeah. Straight away.
Whatever. It's in his closet.
Wait, we're like running
He,
topless.
he kisses it. He kisses it before every Arsenal game.
I still owe you a curry, don't I?
That's all right.
Wait.
Don't worry about
What-
it.
did you have that shirt when
I'll
Arsenal
get you a
was,
curry.
or did you get it after they bounced it?
Say it
The
again?
Arsenal. Did you have that shirt when they
Hey,
were losing?
what?
When Arsenal was losing games at the end of the season?
I borrowed the shirt from my neighbour.
Wait, Dan, what did he say?
When did you
Wait,
get
Dan?
it?
When I got it about 3 days before I had to go on the show.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
I was gonna say
Wait.
that if you had that shirt and they were losing games, I'm like, get that shirt again so they can start losing games. You know,
Wait,
so
Dan, what did he say? Or are you just joking?
he made fun
In
of
the comment.
steaks. Watch the clip.
Oh, steak is
Oh,
Steak is on track.
steak is getting clipped.
Terry Flores. Steak made it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Alex, do you
You're-
forget
you're-
we were on stream yesterday with him? And you were on the clip, I swear, talking.
Wait, what?
Your face?
Go watch the clip. You were there. Me and we were there.
Wait, what video was this?
It was the one yesterday when they score and you see Dance screaming.
Oh
at
yeah,
him.
when he was screaming, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Terry watched that?
Yeah.
You watched that. Yeah.
Wait,
He put it
I
on-
would have never known that. We made it.
You're famous. You're famous.
I've just turned off my mic.
Oh, he said he looked confused. Why the fuck this guy screaming steak?
I need to call.
Alex,
Was
You
the
know
most
what?
recent?
They must think the Spurs fan base is fucked in the head, man. They must think we are fucked in the head.
And we are. The truth is, we are.
They must look at us and think we're like a special experiment.
No, we are.
Was
We are.
this the most recent video, Dan?
yeah, bro. He made it today.
Yes.
Man.
I need to watch it. I need to watch it.
But you don't have Twitter. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I'll just watch it anyway.
Mari,
I'll
I
send you-
gotta
I'll
go,
send you the
man.
clip.
Oh man.
You gotta
Wow.
go. You gotta
Let's
go.
take some
Mark.
predictions before we leave. Yeah. We'll start with Spell, and then we'll. Well, actually, Sub mentioned first. We'll work backwards. We'll go to subs, and then we'll go to Cube. And then,
Yeah.
what's your prediction for Saturday?
We're playing Bournemouth on Saturday. Cherries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
not
haven't
steak,
watched
are
them.
they?
I haven't really watched them. I only watched them the time they got battered 9-0. Was it 9-0 against Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was before. That was a long time ago.
Wait, is it home? Is it home or away?
Away.
Oh,
Away.
Away.
that's no
Yeah,
They might-
Emerson's
they
scoring
actually might-
69 goals.
They might actually want to turn up against us to make a fool of us, you know. No, but I still feel like we'll win that game. As long as Gil Messi starts and then Lucas Moura on the right wing back, you know, then I'm good.
Who Messi?
What?
Enkele Gil,
Gil Messi,
Enkele Gil.
Incara.
Enkele.
Pele Moura.
Tyler Moore on the right wing back, and then Gil Messi on the right wing.
Yeah, you
We'll
got
be
Harry
good to go.
Iniesta. Harry Iniesta.
Diego Doherty.
Yeah, but my prediction will be
Coutinho.
my prediction
Tangeo.
is
Come on. Oh, that's a bad one.
prediction will be
Virgil van
my,
Dijk.
to Tottenham.
What did you say?
Which-
No,
what is it,
what
Subs?
did what
Everybody's
did you say?
everybody's
Yeah.
interrupting, Subs. What was it, Subs? What's
Shrubs, yeah. We don't want to hear
It
you.
was my prediction will be 3-1. We win that game to us.
Oh.
But yeah. There's not a chance we're losing to Bournemouth, guys. Come on, they like
If Neil
relegation.
Stark, Bournemouth wins 5-0.
See, Scott is real positive. I like
Not
it.
Evan. Brutal,
That's
man.
true.
Brutal.
Gil Messi, guys. I'm telling you, that kid's gonna surprise us, guys.
Helinio.
Stop. Please don't say Gil Messi. You're gonna regret it, man.
Gil
Helinio.
Messi, dude. I
Helinio.
got it from Irish Hotspur. Gil Messi, dude. And
I've been
he's
saying it
earned that
before.
name.
I said it before.
This
So,
fraudulence has to stop. This fraudulence is just,
Dude, stop hating, bro.
gassing up mediocre players. That's
Yeah.
How many
Spurs
assists?
already.
How many assists
Whoa.
has Gil Messi got?
Didn't you guys see what he did in Iber? Didn't you guys see what he was doing in Valencia?
Iber got relegated.
Yeah, but like he was decent
I thought
then.
we got relegated.
You know, as long as you know they got relegated. Okay, all right. That's good.
Psycho scored against Burnley. They got relegated.
And he's like, isn't he like 19 or something? Like 19 or 20?
No, he's 22.
It's 21 actually.
21, 22. Yeah. He's like
21.
basically the same age. He's like basically the same age as Declan Kulusevski. So everybody keeps thinking of Hill like, oh, he's just a kid. He's just a kid. And I'm like, yeah, but he's like basically the same age as Kulusevski. So what excuses does he have?
He's skinny.
I think he's 6 months younger. I think
Yeah, so I'm like, you can't just keep calling him like this kid. It's not like he's like a Dane Scarlett age or something. So
and doesn't he play for the? Didn't he play for Spain? Wasn't he playing for the national team, but not the first team, the second
one
team?
game. He came on for 10 minutes the whole competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just on the video. That's just down in the clip.
I think he's just good as a super sub. You know, because he won't be able to last 90 minutes, I don't think. If he's
Super sub.
So it's just best to bring him on at, say, 50 or 60 minutes, something like that.
You'll never bring him on at 50 minutes. Conte is like clockwork. He does a 70-minute sub on a forward every single time. He does it every time. And you guys know I say it every time.
What minute did he bring him on against? Because I didn't look at the time. What minute did he bring him on against?
70th minute. It's always the 70th minute. It's around the 70th minute.
Was it the 70th minute? Was it that late?
Yeah, it is always around the 70th minute. It's like,
you know what? It seemed like he was on the pitch for a lot longer.
He will always sub off forwards on the 70th minute to rest the legs of the forwards. It happens every single game.
Yeah.
He did it against Frankfurt as well. He brought on Hill around about that time.
It's only because Hill's his only option on the bench. If Richie or then he would bring on Richie at the 70th.
Whose phone's going?
Who's that?
I'm gonna get that.
Is that steak delivery? Is that steak delivery?
It's the pizza. Margarita pizza.
It's a steak.
So I guess my prediction is it's 2-1 to us. I think it'll be 2-1 to us. I'll say we'll win it. One goal from Hill and Hill Messi, and another goal from Emerson.
It has to be after the 70th minute.
I can see that.
Hill Messi.
It'll be Emerson will be our second goal. And if
what? Now you just.
if it's if it's not Emerson, then for sure it'll be Dyer. Like it's got to be one of those two. Like I mean, they're seriously. I mean,
One of those.
class.
Yeah. Dietrich, you're next.
Cubed.
Hmm.
Cube.
What's up?
You told me you don't do drugs.
Well, you know what? Being a Spurs fan, I started.
Okay.
What did you
fair enough.
start on? Did you start on the low one?
That's right here.
I need some of Mari's Percocets. I need some of his painkillers.
Right here. All right.
Being a Spurs fan has caused me to start drinking. So
You know what? I'm gonna say 6-0. Kane double hat trick.
Get this guy off the show, man. Get this guy.
Can I say my prediction? Can I say mine? Or have I said mine already?
Are you skipping the Queen?
That's
Kick
okay.
Dietrich.
State can. I'm allowing him.
Thank you. My prediction is 6-9-0 Spurs. I feel like Emerson's scoring 30, Kane with 9, Lloris with 30.
What?
Lloris with 30.
I didn't hear him right.
I like that prediction. Queen.
Oh,
Okay.
Mike, can you show Scott Emerson?
Do you know what? I'm
Oh,
going to be negative, right? For the first time in my life, I think we're going to lose.
Scott M is a fucking nutter.
Honestly, I think we're going to
Scott
lose.
M is a
'cause
nutter.
I just
He's
think we're going
winding
to
up,
lose. I think
winding
we're going to lose
He's winding up.
2-1.
He's
we're
winding
gonna
up.
lose 2-1.
I'm normally really positive and always forecast Spurs to win, but I just think we're going to lose it. We're destined to lose this game.
Oh,
I
we're
just
gonna
think-
lose. We all know that. We know it.
What you mean?
Because the players can't even play well against an average Sporting Lisbon team, and they give them all they make them look like Bayern Munich in the first half.
Yeah,
And then the
we're
second
in
half-
complete.
Bournemouth coming again? Aren't they coming like 10th or 9th?
I just
Hey,
think we're going to
Sporting.
lose. I've got a feeling, but I don't want us to lose. Obviously, I want us to win. But I'm
Where are they
not
coming,
positive
actually?
about this one because Bournemouth, they'll raise their game against us as well.
Like, who do they have?
Well, it's not who they have; it's who we haven't got.
Next, your prediction.
It's going to be an awful game. We're going to have a good 20, 30-minute patch, and we're just going to win it 2-1.
Go on,
I
Stale.
agree with Cube's result. We're going to win 2-1, but it's going to be so tight. Like,
Please,
really.
can you scrub your head to give us good luck? 'Cause your head-
I hope we win, man. Come on.
My score is it's going to be 1-1 at the half. They play a high line. I think Kane is going to be
High line.
Yeah, they play a high line. I think Kane assists to Son for first half goal. They equalize. It's 1-1. Second half, 70th minute. They still playing high line. Lucas gets taken off. Brian Hill comes on, and Son assists and Kane assists. Brian Hill 2 goals, brace 3-1.
Oh, again.
3-1.
Incarnagil.
Elaborate breakdown of what's going to happen.
Spurs. So goal for Son, 2 goals for Hill, 2 assists for Kane, 1 assist for Son, and it's
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. I'm sticking to it 3-1. For some strange reason, I think Lucas starts, plays that shit. They bring in Hill, and the rest is history. 3-1.
Listen, as long as we've got Zinedine Zidane at the back, we'll be all right.
Who starts? Emerson or Doherty? Who starts?
Both are shit. I will start looking.
Emerson.
Emma Puyol.
I'm not lying. Yeah, I'm not lying when I say this. I genuinely mean this. I'm not saying this to get attention or jokes. I genuinely mean this. I'd rather start with 10 men. Really, I'd rather just play with 10 men.
No right wing back. No.
Fuck it.
we pretend that doesn't exist.
Romero can do both. Romero can do.
Romero
Mind you,
could
though,
do both jobs. He
against
can.
Sporting Lisbon, the entire second half, Romero was up front.
Yeah.
It's like they're too scared. It's like they're too scared to say to him, "Yo, you're supposed to go back there." Like no one wants to talk to him. It's just like break your legs or
Nobody's going to
something.
argue with Romero.
He was,
Second
but you know
one.
what? Romero was no. He got up to the box, but I saw him tracking back. Like every time, whenever anything, like he would track back, he would track back.
Yeah,
So
he
he was
does.
just he was moving. He was moving around a lot.
Cubed. He does what he wants. He does whatever he wants.
Well,
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
but I mean, like because
Because he's
people-
better than
I'm
most of
Romero.
them.
I will hurt you. I'm gonna do what I want. Like, okay.
Can I have a Conte Romero boxing fight?
That's
Like
what
in the
he
stadium.
wants. That's what he wants. All right, quickly, because I keep getting texts and calls. Where can we find you, Stell?
all his booty calls, they're all coming out right now. It's getting around that time.
You
It's getting
can
that
find
time.
Oh
him
yeah.
at,
Sorry.
in Lebanon,
Sorry. Yeah,
chatting
I've got
up the
messages as
women.
well. I've got messages too.
Yeah.
Maury, is that a Mexico girl? The Mexican
I
from
plead the fifth.
Cancun?
I have
Yeah, exactly.
Maria.
and I choose-
Maria.
I do not speak because if I speak, I get to trouble. I do not speak.
Yeah.
Like-
Mari said that he's a world traveler, so
Yeah, he's got a,
you know.
he's got a woman
Mari's
in
We're all
every
in every
port.
country.
He's got a,
I'm pretty sure he has
he's
a.
got, he's got
I'm pretty
two
sure he has
women
a.
in every port.
He has a kid in every country.
I
Yeah,
do not
Chica. A Chica
Can I?
Chica.
Wait, I need to tell you this is quite funny, right? So someone today goes to me. He goes, "You bring all the people that dislike you together, like people in the Spurs community that don't like each other. If they both begin to hate you, you bring them together." Like he goes to me, "You're like the Spurs Tinder."
Oh, it's true. I took a
What
glance
the fuck?
and I was like,
That's ridiculous.
I
Brian Daigle, that's it. Brian said it. You're Tottenham Tinder.
Start making some
I
money
almost
off
did
that
that.
still.
You almost made you like the devil. I'm looking at Twitter. I was like, okay, all right.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
it's,
that, man.
it's
Brilliant.
crazy, man.
I
Well,
love Twitter.
Stell is actually he brings everybody together. Stelly is like the glue that binds it all.
Tottenham Tinder.
He's the Eric Dyer.
And Dietrich's is Tottenham Grinder.
Steak.
And he's Tottenham Steak. Tottenham Steak.
Tottenham couscous.
Curry.
Really have to go. So people can see you at Tottenham away. We have a show tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah, you guys hopefully are all on it. 10 o'clock. Come and
Yep.
join us.
Yep.
We've got a special guest tomorrow night. Special guest Dan Zanan.
Oh,
Whoa! Oh.
I'm joking. I wish we could get Dan Zanan. I wish.
Queen also has Tottenham to die. When is the next show, Ellie?
THFC Till I Die. Next show's tomorrow. We're doing our bulletin show that we've just started just recently. And also we've got lots of shows in order. But the thing is, the main one I want to advertise is my ladies show. All right, because I started my ladies show on Tuesday. Where
Okay.
I'm going to be following. I'm following the ladies team anyway, because as an ex-player, I'm interested in them.
Yeah.
And it went very
Good on
well.
you.
The first show, we got a brilliant intro done by my nephew. Right, it was a joint effort actually. Dermot done the first draft, and then my nephew jazzed it up. It's pretty good. Check it out, guys. It's fantastic. I'm not bigging myself up or anything here. You know what I mean?
Maury, can I share my screen quickly just to show everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called
Please,
Ellie
everyone.
Spurs Ladies Show, by the way.
Everyone, go and
It's on
subscribe.
THFC Till I Die.
This ball fraud is close to 10K.
Oh yes, yeah, they're close to 10K.
What's that website?
It's called Subscriber Counter.
Oh, okay.
If everyone gets us to 10K, I'm buying everyone a Spurs jersey, but not the scuba diving one. I refuse to pay money for the scuba. I'll buy anything else but that.
Can I have,
Yeah.
can I have a steak? Can I have like 10
You
steaks
can have
instead?
a steak, no problem. I'll buy you a steak.
So the what's everybody's favourite Spurs shirt?
The one we had in 2016-17, the Under Armour.
Oh no,
White
yeah.
Hart.
The golden black one. The golden black one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that
one
The
was-
mansion, isn't it? That one.
Well, Under Armour had the best jerseys. Nike shit.
You know
I
what?
like the
actually like the.
wholesome retro one.
I
Nike's
like
just a
that
copy and
one.
paste of the home shirt. It's actually a joke.
I like the Champions League jersey, the green one.
The green
No,
one.
The green
yeah,
one
that's
too was nice.
I quite
Yeah.
like this one.
The green one grew on me, especially with
The
the
blue
best.
one's nice as well. The
I
dark
like this
blue
one, man. I like this
Yeah,
one.
that's quite nice, you know.
This
that's-
one's all right.
That's us
But it's
trying
the
to be
same.
Manchester City.
But it's the same design every year.
Oh, that's the one I
Always
have still. I got one of those.
Do you have
Well,
Sonic?
I
Oh,
don't
leave
know,
you out.
I've never
Leave
seen
you
these
out.
before.
Leave you out. Leave you
No,
out.
no, Dietrich's. I have Kane, and then underneath I wrote in black Sharpie is shit. So
Oh, he has more goals than your baby son.
Than your child.
Still,
Nice.
you like the dark blue one as well, don't you?
Huh?
You know the dark blue one with the old Spurs crest? The dark blue one.
I
I've
love
seen
the
you
old
wear
crest.
it.
I love the old crest.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I just hate the sponsor. I fucking.
It's
hate
red.
it.
It's fucking red on the
But
top
on
of the
the
shirt.
blue shirt, it's white.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's a home
But when we
shirt.
get Google, it's going to be red and yellow and green and blue.
I know.
We're diverse in colours.
Literally, it's
We're
going
gonna
to
have
be LGBTQ, everything. Have everything. Everyone's covered. Everyone's going to be included, man.
Our defence won't be covered though.
Huh?
Our defence wouldn't be covered though.
This guy.
Mari, end the show, man. End the show.
My brother, right, one of my brothers, he's a really big historian on football, right? His name's Babu, but his real name's Balaskevas, right? He said the first Spurs team was the cricket associated with the cricket side in Middlesex. We wore some red. We actually wore some red in our
The
jerseys.
jersey used to be red and navy shorts.
Yeah.
That
see?
just cursed. That sounds cursed.
But why do you remove the red and blue shorts?
Yeah, remove the red. We don't need that. All right, guys, I gotta go. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Hungry for some steak.
Thank you.
And have some food, Mari, before you pass out.
before he goes and answers all those booty calls, he got to get some. He's got to get some
Have
food in
some
him
food
before he
first, and
tires
then
himself
Willy.
out all night.
Yo,
Alright.
CCT, what's with the booty calls? Jesus.
Energy.
Yeah, he needs that Richie energy.
He looks good. He looks fine.
Make sure you subscribe to Tinder, Tottenham Tinder, free
Tom,
membership for
Tinder
all
and Tor.
Murray Love Lounge participants. Free subscription and membership for 1 year.
Yeah.
Tinder and Tor. Tinder and Tor.
Tinder on tour. Tinder away.
I've really enjoyed the show, Mari.
Yeah,
Well done.
Bagels
Good show,
Tinder.
man. Good show.
Tinder
Great
loud.
show.
Shelfside Tinder.
Steak tender.
Shellside
Fake
Tinder.
Tinder.
Where the Shellside, where
In
the
the Tinder.
Shellside, the Shellside. Oh,
Dance
yeah.
Tinder.
Tinder till I die.
Everything Tinder.
I
This
love
show's just going
Tinder.
downhill
It
by the
will
minute.
love me.
End it, Mari.
How many-
It's
how
gone
many-
out crazy.
The
Yeah.
steak
Where's-
must
Where's Charlie when I need to end the show? Where's Charlie?
Where's Charlie?
I need it.
What about I love
Dance.
Mikhail Attila?
Man, you're swiping right and down on Tinder.
On that note,
Its description will just be Terry's dad, Terry's son.
Imagine swiping right on Dan's man. That's wrong on so many levels. It's unbelievable. Jesus Christ. Christ, man.
thank you.
Christ.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for the chats. And we're winning on Saturday. I can feel it. I can feel Brian Hill goal. I can feel
steak in the air.
All right, come on, you Spurs.
Steak.
What are you Spurs?
Tinder.
Squeeze.